You also have, which was nice, if you remember the last game, they had the partner system, which was a little light in that, you're spawning on your partner and then you're just kind of running around. But now there's like a group, and you get actually a bonus for running around with your own group. So that's like 4 people. And then to couple that is obviously the hero system, which is still in. And that, yes, so you will see Rey fighting Darth Maul, and you'll see Han Solo, young Han Solo, fighting Darth Maul. That was some of the footage they had. But yeah, I think the other cool aspect of the hero system is that it looks like they're introducing battle points. So in the game, if you do well, so you get like 500 battle points, you'll see a list, and you're able to get like a vulture droid, right? Because what we'll see is the Theed map, which is on Naboo, so it's prequel era, which is very exciting actually. And so yeah, you'll see like a vulture droid, and then if you either you burn those battle points or you hold on to them till you get 5,000, and then you're getting those heroes, Darth Maul or Boba Fett, you're seeing flying around and stuff. So
yeah, I hate to make the Call of Duty comparison, but it's kind of like kill streaks in Call of Duty when you get to call in UAVs or airstrikes or the nuke if you're doing well enough. But
it's the first thing I thought of too.
Right.
Exactly what it is.
So something we did not see from the league today, Peter Brown, was more of the single player, which we saw during the launch. And I know you were kind of tepid on the first Battlefront as well from DICE. Is that single player stuff, is that what you want to see more of today and throughout the week, if that's what's going to pull you into Battlefront 2?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the multiplayer was okay in the first game, and I'd be happy to just have access to a newer version of that with some of the stuff you guys are talking about. But for me, it's really the stories in the Star Wars universe that make me feel attached to it. So if I can get more of that, I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah. And of course, so we'll see more of Battlefront 2 at the conference, but of course it's EA, so we'll be seeing a few other things that we know of. Battlefield 1 DLC. Rob, you've kind of been on the Battlefield 1 DLC train from the beginning since it launched last year. This is the In the Name of the Tsar DLC, so pretty big because they're introducing the Russian army and the Eastern Front, right?
Totally.
So we're assuming some snowy maps, right? Like, what are you excited to see out of this?
I think one of the coolest things about Battlefield 1 is actually that dynamic weather.
Yeah, right.
Just seeing a sandstorm rolling in and then having, basically people shift to then close range weapons.
How it changes your strategy and whatnot. Yeah.
And so, as you said, snow, that's what they mentioned. So you can easily expect snowstorms.
Yeah.
So that could be pretty neat. Yeah, Eastern Front, they've said new vehicles. I think some of the concept art from, I guess, a book or something like that had, armored cars that were used by both Germans and the Russians. So that works because, as you know, a lot of the vehicles in that game are kind of shared. So that makes sense in that respect. And then also, new weapons. And I think they said a female character you can play.
Playable female soldiers for multiplayer.
I think it's specific to the scout class, which is almost reminiscent of what we know about Call of Duty World War II, right? Where there is that storyline about, I believe, a Russian female sniper.
It's a French resistance sniper, yeah.
Oh, French. Right. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, we won't see World War II, Call of Duty World War II at the EA stage today. But
sorry.
Do you think this could kind of get you amped up going into Call of Duty World War II when it releases later this year? Because In the Name of the Tsar releases this summer.
Yeah.
Not too long after E3 ends. But Callie, do you play much Battlefield 1, or did you not get the chance to?
I didn't get the chance to play a lot of it, but I kind of want to jump into it with this DLC, just because I think that the Russian front is especially represented in media and games in general. I mean, I know World War I obviously is not as represented, but I just think it's an interesting area of the war to explore. So that's where a lot of my interest lies in it. And also, I am very excited that first for the series, they're introducing playable female characters in multiplayer, which is just something that's near and dear to my heart, of course. So I'm genuinely excited for that.
Yeah.
I think there's also concept art that I saw on the internet
of an airplane thing.
I'm just going to it. But you know,
I was gonna ask you about airplanes.
But the snipers in that game, they have really cool capes.
Yeah.
They were showing this
the scouts,
Russian,
right?
woman soldier with a cool cap on. I don't know, it looked pretty tight.
Yeah.
So the fashion is what you're looking for.
Totally.
Yeah.
All about it.
Have you seen any airplane concept art that you're excited about?
No.
No, not yet.
Wow.
I haven't seen any.
You want to see?
I wanna.
What would they? Do you know what Russians used during World War II? World War I.
Planes?
Did they?
Think so?
Yeah.
It's gonna be some form of a biplane.
I wonder if do you think there'll be a new behemoth introduced?
Oh, that was the other thing was from the concept art was a train. They had the train behemoth already, but it looked like this one had a snow plow, so it looked cooler.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Like the Polar Express?
Or the Polar Express, far less malignant thing I was going for, but very tough.
Tom Hanks is your conductor, I think.
Yeah. Sits on the roof. Pete, do you like playing Battlefield 1 at all? No. I figured I might as well ask.
That's worth a shot, but no, I don't really know that much about the game.
I actually did not play the stories, the short stories, the war stories, sorry, until a while after release. I played a lot of multiplayer. They were good. And I'm excited to see what they might do with that with this DLC.
Is that? I mean, I guess they haven't said, but
Or sorry,
that
in
could
terms
be-
of like how the like multiplayer fleshes out the story of this
Yeah.
game. But I mean, have they said they're not going to do anything story-wise of those war stories? Dang, that's a disappointment. I would like to see like.
Yeah,
them
to
do
Callie's
some stuff.
point, it sounds like that would be a good opportunity to
Sure.
actually, tell the story on the other side of that
Yeah.
war rather than
Yeah.
just show it.
Yeah.
The other thing I think they'll elaborate on is like their premium friends system, to which the point is like, I think these maps are locked for DLC, as in you have to purchase them in order to play. But if so, say you have the DLC and I don't,
Yeah.
in like an ugly situation is that we're moving on from a map that we both have,
Yeah.
and you get to carry on and I don't.
Right.
That system I think will allow me at least one person in your group can like carry on the group into one of the newer maps. I
Sure.
believe. I think, but I don't know much about that. I think they're going to clarify how that works.
Right. So yeah, we'll see more on Battlefield 1's DLC In the Name of the Tsar, which releases later this summer, not too long after E3. Need for Speed Payback, we saw the announcement trailer, right? And it seems a little bit different than the last Need for Speed we saw, because last Need for Speed had those corny like live action
They
cutscenes.
sure did, Mike.
You loved them, didn't you, Peter?
I liked watching them on YouTube.
Yeah?
A little bit. I mean, it was a weird move.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
From the announcement trailer, they showed, it looks kind of more like Fast and the Furious
Yeah,
action kind of
definitely.
oriented. It looks like
Yeah.
they're going for that because those movies will never die. But also, it seems like they're really avoiding those live action things. At least I would hope. At least that's like they've showed
just not
cutscenes.
doing them this time.
Yeah, that seems like
Yeah.
the best approach.
I'd
Are
say,
you excited for a Need for Speed Payback at all?
Yeah, there's been a lot of like really good simulation heavy driving games over the past few years, but I feel like the arcade racer has sort of like lost its like foothold in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Need for Speed isn't always the best example of that.
Sure.
But even with the direction they're taking regarding like all the stuff from potentially Fast and the Furious, like that sort of those themes, that action, that could be good. That could work well with a Need for Speed. I have very fond memories of playing the first handful of games up through like the original like Hot Pursuit. So I have some fondness for Need for Speed. We'll see what they can do. Some gameplay, some more explanation would be great.
I think they mentioned, as far as like heavy chases with cops. I think people complained about like the previous games making it too easy to get away from cops. I think they hinted at like, as far as EA goes, they hinted at having different ways or needs in order to get them off you by like using environmental stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's like plowing through like a parking lot or like destructible environment for that matter. Yeah, that seemed interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, we talked last week on the lobby, our live show, about how it kind of looked a little bit like Forza Horizon 3 and the off-road stuff in the Australian outback. It looks like, that you're kind of going into these more off-road cars, maybe like these rally cars or something, making use of the terrain instead of just the roads of, I believe Fortune Valley is what they're calling it, just Las Vegas kind of stand-in.
Yeah.
They mentioned there's a story mode, right? They mentioned three playable characters and that each kind of had, to my understanding, like different traits, right? Like you had like your runner, your I don't know, like a drag racer. I'm getting totally butchering these.
And then Baby Driver.
or like a stunt driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if that would transfer over into like the open world, right? Like, you would imagine an open world would have different quests and events. So maybe those are obviously Forza had that too, is right? Just like hit this jump to get experience and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how they'll actually take Payback and kind of expand on what they did with the last game. I don't think there are too many like EA Sports fans at this table, are there?
No.
No. I mean, I like NHL games. I've
Talk
kind of
NHL 94 if you want.
Yeah. Or let's talk about it. What do you
All
think? What do you want to see them take from NHL 94 that goes into the new NHL? No, I'm kidding. I do want to. What were you gonna say?
Please.
Nothing. No, I was gonna say it was interesting with FIFA 17. They introduced the journey, a kind of story-driven, like actually not just like a single season kind of
Yeah.
like a character and everything.
Like
And
developing someone's career.
exactly, and I know it was kind of FIFA 17. I think a lot of people thought it had a lot of hiccups, but I think the journey was the most interesting thing. It was last year at this time when we saw it first, right? EA showed it, and they're saying like, oh, it's this actual character. You're gonna guide through his career. You're gonna have him kind of rise up through the ranks. And I'm curious if they're going to do that with FIFA 18 again, or even with
Other ones.
NBA Live or Madden 18.
That's what I was going to ask you, is if you thought that they would kind of expand that into the other sports games. Because it seemed to be, it was just such a good change up, right? Like, if you've been playing the sports games for a while, you kind of get into the same rhythm. It's nice to have something new to do. So I imagine they'd probably bring those to the other franchises if it makes sense, you know.
I think especially for Madden, that would be a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that series sells anymore, but it doesn't seem to be a game I hear talked about among even my friends the way that Madden used to be. So I feel like that series probably needs something new to keep fans really engaged, because that's one that really hasn't changed that much. As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, because I think last year Madden 17 had, it really improved on a lot of the minutia, which can be huge in a game like an actual sim game.
But when you have people settling into these games and they play it for a year straight, they're not necessarily going to want to just change the rule book, just to play under these new rules. So I think they probably need a kick in the pants in some way, and the story mode might be it, if it's a thing.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what they might do with NBA Live. See if they do introduce some sort of character progression with it or whatnot.
NBA 2K has a mode like that, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah,
weird.
that sounds right.
I mean,
Well, remember the face scan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. You
Was
talked
that
to
2 years ago, and you start off with your manager in like a hotel room.
It was the last
Yes,
game as well.
yeah.
It started off as NBA face scan and put yourself in a game. Then it became create the most monstrous thing you can imagine.
Right.
And it just became nightmare fuel. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they'll be doing with those games. But another big thing I want to touch on, there have been rumors and whatnot of this Project Dylan from BioWare. BioWare, I think it's safe to say, is not having, a flagship year. That's not the phrase, I know that, but they're not having a great year so far with Mass Effect Andromeda. They've improved the game a lot, substantially, with, the animations. People had problems with it. It was kind of broken overall. I know, Jean-Luc Saipi, a lot in our office back at GameSpot was just showing us these bugs he encountered. It came up on YouTube all the time. It seems like it would be a year where BioWare, might want to stay quiet a little bit and maybe, no news is good news for right now.
That's kind of what I thought, yeah. But if they're really going to show this thing off and it can be super impressive, that would be great. They could totally sort of overwrite the damage, I guess, that Mass Effect did.
Yeah.
But we also got to keep in mind this is a totally different studio working on this thing.
Yeah, that was BioWare Montreal, and the IP is purportedly main studio in Edmonton, right?
Yes.
And that would be, and then Project Dylan, for context for people watching, it's essentially they're rumored to be kind of getting into the Destiny MMO-ish shooter action space.
Action, new action game, yeah.
Do you guys, what's your prediction? Do you think we'll see that at the conference or this year, or do you think they'll wait on?
I really hope we'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now the only thing that I'm really digging on is Star Wars, maybe Need for Speed, but I would love something brand new, right? Like a new IP, that kind of thing would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really hoping for those. Was it other 3 or 2 Star Wars games?
Oh right,
There's
exactly.
Visceral and there's
Respawn.
Motive.
Right.
Respawn, and then EA Motive is
Battlefront.
Doing Battlefront, and then you guys are right. Visceral. Amy Hennig is the one. She's working on Visceral, right?
I love the teaser.
And isn't that what started as Star Wars 1313?
Well,
or that got canned, and then this studio got put on it.
I'd say it's more of just if you follow the narrative of Star Wars games being in development. I don't know that there's any connection other than that. Yeah.
Gotcha. And those would be awesome to see.
Yeah.
I don't think we would see respawns, right? They seem really busy.
Sounds like it's super early.
They seem really busy with Titanfall. I'm sure they have splintered people to do Titanfall 2 DLC, which you're not complaining about.
I'm not. Not at all.
But it doesn't, actually speaking of, before I do want to go back to the Star Wars titles and BioWare, but do you think Titanfall, anything will show up at the show?
I was thinking about it today. They could tease something, but I think it would be so down the road in that they just introduced a new Titan, which is pretty much a really big thing.
That was the biggest DLC so far.
Yeah, as far as balancing a new Titan on the field, I would want another new Titan because I think they've hinted at a couple more.
Yeah. Oh, well, they searched, someone found, mined the logs and found Monarch, which became this one recently, the newest Titan. But then Bison was showing up.
It's a more heavy class. I think it had a grapple.
It was like a boxer.
Yeah, it sounded
Fists.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then another, probably you would imagine, then it would be a lighter class. I don't know.
Kind of even out, because now there's 7 Titans. You imagine they'd at least go for an even number, maybe.
Yeah, I think they definitely need to consider that. The new Titan, they have to balance that stuff. But I also would not be surprised. I mean, I would love a teaser for something down the road. Yeah.
But going back to Respawn, I agree with Pete. I would say it's really early for that.
Yeah, and they've even said recently that it's very, very early.
For the Star Wars title?
Yeah, that they're just sort of in the discussion phase, the planning part of it. So I imagine that's going to be a long way off. But we did see, 13, 15 seconds of the Visceral game. And he like walks out into Mos Eisley, I think.
Yeah.
It looked like, as far as an era, I guess I would say like a Rogue One, like Empire at full swing.
Right.
'Cause it was just
Right.
like, those red flags. Like, it looked really neat.
Pre A New Hope.
I would definitely say so. Like, whether you're, again, I got a lot of the Rogue One vibe of just like, you're an underground, like a, God, what's her name from the movie? Jyn
Erso.
Jyn Erso. You're trying to start a rebellion. You're undermining the Empire. That's what I kind of gathered. But
It would be super interesting if they did go for that time period because they have Battlefront 2, which is supposedly going to be filling out between
smart,
Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. This could be between the Revenge of the Sith. Well, much later after Revenge of the Sith, but maybe pre A New Hope, much
Yeah.
like Rogue One was.
Right.
I would love that. I really liked Rogue One a whole lot, so I would love to have a game that explores that era too.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the Star Wars titles, the multiple ones that are in development, it's interesting to see that Amy Hennig and Visceral, like knowing Amy Hennig's past with Uncharted and her like narrative focused games, you're assuming that would be the studio to really tackle maybe a third-person adventure action kind of game, like story-driven. To not to like reduce her work to just that, but she's very good at those narrative games, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at Respawn. The only games they've done are Titanfall 1 and 2, but of course they come from the Call of Duty background. Vince Zampella, all those guys there. You'd assume this would be a much more kind of focused action game, right?
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how like the juxtaposition between those works with Battlefront 2, which we know a lot more about. So it'd be interesting to see if anybody comes to the show this year outside of Battlefront 2. It seems like a big Star Wars year with Episode 8, but I think if anybody, it would be Visceral.
Yeah.
I agree with that, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But going back to the BioWare thing,
Yeah.
it's interesting to see or to hear from the rumors that they might be going into that space with Dylan, with its code name right now, because insofar right now, Division is the only kind of thing that's been there to compete with Destiny in that kind of space. And those are the kind of games that you get in, and then it's almost like a platform unto itself.
Yeah.
It's not just one game. Like the Division, you look at it a year after it released, it's like massively improved, at least from people who played it all the time. You look at Destiny with Taken King, it improved. Rise of Iron was kind of just like a throwaway expansion, I think. But we know Destiny 2 is coming in September. It'd be interesting to see how BioWare, who's traditionally known for these story-driven RPGs, is going to compete with something like Destiny 2, because like you're going to have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, knowing it's BioWare, they kind of might have something up their sleeve. I don't know, Callie, what would you even want to see out of something if it does turn out to be something like Project Dylan? What would they have to do? Because I know you're a big Destiny fan.
Yeah, I play a lot of Destiny. I'm also a big BioWare fan, so I would like to see something that kind of marries those two things. That's like strong on gameplay, but also has a strong narrative. Because that's the one thing that was missing for me in Destiny is the narrative is so buried. Like the lore that is there was in the Grimoire, and if you were like really intense, you would like read the Grimoire on your phone or whatever, which I did. But
Gotta get it somewhere.
yeah, but I would like there to be kind of a balance between those things. I'd like to see the RPG elements that I really like, even if they're distilled down, I would like to see that married with like strong action gameplay and a narrative. I think BioWare could pull that off. I would like to see that. I would really hope that they wouldn't be quiet this year. Because like Andromeda was a misstep to say the least, but I don't think that means they can't bring anything. I think it would be better for them to show something off.
Sure.
Rob, did you play a lot of BioWare games back in the day, or recently? Mass Effect, right? You talked about Mass Effect a little bit,
Yeah, Mass Effect.
or Knights of
I'm just thinking about like, I mean, you mentioned like competing. Like this thing would have to come out like, you got Destiny 2 coming up, right? Like it would have to come like at some time, like way down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious.
But I mean, like Destiny 2, I'm sure will still have legs going far into next year. Like if it's anything like the first Destiny with expansions or just regular players, to say the least. But
Yeah.
I mean, they have to do something different, right?
Yeah.
Like whether that's like a third person pull, or I mean, heavy story is what I guess I would want,
Sure.
right? Like, like creating your own path.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be curious about the tech behind it, because like there was a bunch of stories recently about the development of Andromeda, why it was so difficult. Part of that was because the development was so fractured among different teams, but also it was the limitation of the Frostbite engine. While it's really good at doing some things, it's not good at doing large-scale worlds.
Okay.
And that created the biggest problem for them. So
It's gorgeous for like Battlefield maps, right? But it might be
or
tougher
FIFA, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, but if
Right.
you're going to go for something that is very large, right, with like a lot of things to explore, like
Yeah.
it sounds like the Frostbite engine might make that a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the biggest lesson learned from
Yeah.
Andromeda is to not do that. And that sounds like, if the development can go smoothly and you've got BioWare's best people on it, It could compete with Destiny in some ways, but it'll still have a BioWare twist, right, in terms of how it delivers its story. That should really be the thing that puts it above, and maybe even in a different category than Destiny 2.
Right. I think you and I were actually pretty similar with Destiny and The Division. You know, we tried them out, played them a decent amount, but then kind of fell off, unlike a lot of people in our office. You know, like Eric Tay, Jean-Luc play a ton of Destiny and The Division. But, you know, like what would it be that kind of narrative? Like, do you think that BioWare tackling that space might be something to actually get you into that kind of game regularly?
Yeah, I would hope so. Because again, like the stuff in Destiny was interesting, you know, to read it. Even just simple item descriptions gave you a lot of info on things and minutia. So like there's room in that space to do it, and I just you know, exactly what Callie said. We just got to bring it to the forefront and put it out there, and that's BioWare's strong suit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like, what's the last thing BioWare has done outside of like an RPG narrative space? Like anything?
I mean, if they did, then it didn't catch my attention because I live for their RPG stuff. I loved KOTOR, you know.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this a lot, but
If it's not Jade Empire 2, I don't care. No, just kidding. I'm just messing around. All right, so Callie, hit us with like what's your wildest dream for this press conference? What do you want to see?
all right.
Not necessarily like a new game that we're not talking about, but like whether it's from Battlefront 2 or something that we didn't even talk about.
We talked about a lot of the big things. I am also a huge Sims fan. And I would my wildest dream is for there to be a good Sims game. 'Cause I did not like Sims 4.
Yeah.
And I go through urges where I'm like I have to play The Sims right now. It's like a weird addiction that I have, and I love it. It was like my favorite thing EA does. So if they said anything about The Sims, then I would be a very happy person, probably in the minority. I know it's not a popular option, but I would like to see that.
What makes a Sims game good? Like, what's that one thing you're waiting for them to like attach to that series? And be like,
Well, one of the things I didn't like about 4 is that they closed off the world. So in 3, like it was all real time, and so you could just kind of wander around, and like the NPCs would just be doing stuff, and you could kind of like zoom in, and like there'd be quirky, weird Sims garbage going on, the kind of stuff that Sims fans really like. And then in The Sims 4, it was like your house was isolated, and they added these emotions to it that just kind of made it like you had to micromanage what you were doing, and then if you wanted to see anything fun happening, you had to go through like several loading screens. So they just closed it off a lot with 4. So I'd like to see them kind of go back to the roots of just The Sims being about funny microcosm stories of like weird stuff going down and houses getting on fire and people drowning in pools, you know.
You are Sid.
The usual.
yeah.
Like real life.
You know.
Rob, what about you?
I'd probably have to say Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
I wanna have a multiplayer experience that like will stick with me through the test of time.
Yeah, because the first one was just a lot of spectacle, surface appeal. Then you start digging down deeper. Unless, I mean, like you yourself as a diehard Star Wars fan.
Oh, this whole thing?
It's like, what are you doing?
I'm not touching you for no reason. I'm sorry. Yeah, even you, after that initial like spectacle of this is awesome, I feel like I'm in a Star Wars movie, this universe, kind of faded away after a while. You hope like 2 has legs to carry it through like past the first 5 hours.
Totally. And the other thing is, I will always go to it. I love spaceships in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's nice to hear that Criterion, excuse me, they did that VR X-Wing mission.
Yeah.
Where they like, it was a really great experience, but they told me that they had built the flight controls from the ground up. Because the flight controls in Battlefront,
Like a real spaceship?
Huh?
They built a real spaceship?
No.
It's like Kerbal Space Program, but they
Don't do this to me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
They rebuilt that the controls for the spaceships. So it's like that is now incorporated into Battlefront.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping for a kind of revamp of that. I know they have mentioned like they're gonna have more of those like strict space battles that will involve like dreadnought ships, like capital ships that you would have to take down, like asteroids, a lot of obstacles. I want to see a lot of that, and that sounds great. But I really want to see more of like a reason to be flying like a starship with the ground in mind, and of course getting into a spaceship if you can get into a spaceship.
Yeah, I'm in. Pete, what about you?
I'm kind of curious about stuff we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Like some of the indie game stuff.
Yeah.
That EA might be doing.
Joseph Fares, who did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which was published by Starbreeze back in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. He tweeted recently he's coming to E3, and then a couple of years ago, EA announced, I think during E3, that they would be publishing his next game. Saw a brief teaser. Don't know what it's called, but it was on the train. So I don't think it's unlikely that we'd see that today.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, EA, like a lot of publishers, you know, they're great for their big titles, but the smaller stuff matters, and especially if they're putting money behind it and using creators, you know, like the guys behind Brothers. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Did you play Brothers Tales of Two Sons?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't have a brother to play it with necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, did the twin stick stuff.
Yeah.
That was fine.
That was a really great game. Yeah, because he's a film director, a Swedish film director. Then he just felt like getting into games, and then Starbreeze took a chance, let him make Brothers. Yeah, from what I recall, the teaser trailer that published in 2014, I believe. We have it on GameSpot, but we can, you know, like you could see that there was some sort of it was a nighttime landscape. There was someone on a train, and then that was it almost. It was just like, I can't remember if they were singing or something.
No, they're like two guys like in the, excuse me, in the like cargo area of a train, like
stowaways or something.
Yeah, it looked like kind of the stereotypical like drifters, like kind of hopping on a train.
There was a couple props in the foreground when the camera zoomed out. You could see like a mining helmet.
Oh, okay.
And there was like another tool there, so maybe you know there's some kind of prospectors or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gus
yeah.
Chiggins and what?
Dang it! I knew you were gonna do it.
Yeah, we talked about it.
You hear the sound of a chipmunk.
Got too far. Yeah, so I'm hoping to see something from Josef Fares. But does EA have any other indie projects that they're public about yet?
Not that I know of.
Because they backed Unraveled pretty heavily, right?
Yeah.
What was
Oh,
Woolly?
Yarny.
Yarny. I just said Woolly. What am I thinking of?
That's
Yoshi.
Yoshi's Woolly World. Yeah.
Nice. No, I'm thinking of the thing you could draw that guy's eyebrows with.
Oh,
But-
yeah, Woolly Willy.
Yeah, I'd be excited to
My
see
God.
some smaller titles as well. But yeah, I would have to say if Visceral does show up and show something for Star Wars outside of Battlefront 2, which I don't think it's likely, but I would think it would be pretty awesome to see that happen. But yeah, I want to see more from. I might get back into Battlefield 1 once I finish like a slew of really good games that have happened this year because The Name of the Czar comes out
Yeah.
pretty soon.
I mean, maybe it's too much.
Rob, I'm gonna have to cut you off.
Oh, God.
If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or GameSpot, that was our pre-show. We are getting into the EA press conference right now. We'll go over there, but stay tuned. We're gonna do another post-show right after EA. But for now, let's go check it out.
University of Texas. Where'd you disappear to?
Today is the day that we put Memphis on the NFL map. A long shot from the depths of the unknown to being drafted by an NFL team.
All the eyes on you. What's to stop you from hightailing again?
Let me ask you something. Why are you here? Because football's my life.
My father used to say, when the world knocks you down, get back up again.
Wade is miles behind.
Long shot. You gonna get hit today?
You're not the only one trying to get drafted. Yo, man, forget you!
This time around.
Devin Wade at the line for the final play of the game. It's the biggest moment of your life.
Let's go out there and prove to the world that we belong.
Round of applause for the drumline, guys. That's Madden like you've never seen it. And I might be biased, but I'm pretty sure that's the most innovative Madden we've done in well over a decade. Welcome to EA Play 2017, coming to you from the Hollywood Palladium. This is our second year at EA Play. Last year we went out on a limb, tried to do something a little different with a view to changing the way you interact with products before they launch. We wanted to do something that put the games in your hands earlier, and it showed us how much further we can go. As you can see, we've built a creative space here. We're right in the middle of it. This is going to be where it all goes down over the next 3 days, playing, creating, and sharing with the rest of the world. We've built it this way for a very simple reason. We want more of you to be able to experience this moment. For thousands of you in Hollywood this week, we have hundreds of stations for hands-on gameplay. And for tens of millions of you out there joining online from across the world, you won't hear it just from us. You'll hear it from players, right here. They're here to see new things, to ask questions, to challenge us, to tell us what they like, and especially what they don't. They're going to connect with each other and create content. And of course, they're going to play as many games as they possibly can. So let's set the stage for what we'll do over the next hour and a bit. We're going to go deep into 8 new experiences, each with major reveals, massive innovation, and stories that'll pull you in. 2 years ago, we launched Star Wars Battlefront, and we got a lot of feedback. A lot of it positive, and a bunch of it constructive. That's a euphemism for not as positive. So today we're going to bring you 30 minutes of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And what we hope you'll see is that we've addressed all of the feedback and gone even further. We've got a mix of everything here for you. A look at new IP, some killer new trailers, demos, and a bunch of live gameplay. This is going to be a lot of fun. And it should be, right? Because we're all here for one simple reason. All of us share one fundamental belief, and that's that games are the best form of entertainment on the planet. Yeah! They connect us like nothing else. They bring us together across cities and countries. They inspire us. They ignite the fires of competition inside us. Games allow us to do extraordinary things and to be extraordinary in our own ways. Games enable us to be our most creative selves, whether that's as game makers trying to pioneer new ways to play, or players making each game a unique expression of our own passion for what we do. Games put the power of play in our hands, to do with it what we want and to make it our own. So let's celebrate. For the next 3 days, we're here to celebrate play with all of you. And what better place to start than with a game that has taken the world by storm, Battlefield 1. There's more than 20 million Battlefield 1 players out there today, and we've got a lot to share about a revolution that's coming to this great franchise. So let's jump to Battlefield right from the creative heart of EA Play.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew Galata, producer for Battlefield 1 at our DICE studio right here in LA. I'm standing inside the creator cave at EA Play where our community is creating new content to share with players across the globe. It's unbelievably rewarding to see more than 20 million players embracing the game, crafting their own memorable moments, only possible in Battlefield 1. Let's take a look.
Hey, Noob, I got some questions to ask you.
Okay.
What is it about the Battlefield franchise that's so special and appealing to you?
The thing I find special about Battlefield is teamwork. I'm not good at shooting. Sometimes I like to repair, or heal, or hide.
Oh, I just shot an airplane out with the gay bullet!
I'm most definitely proud to be a part of the Battlefield community. I've never been a part of any other gaming community where people are just so passionate about their game.
Everyone in this community is focusing on making this game as best as it can be and expanding on the experiences that we've already had.
No way!
Was mich an Battlefield begeistert, ist die schiere Bandbreite an Dingen, die ich in diesem Spiel tun kann.
Player versus tank versus plane versus environment.
My most memorable moments is what I do with my community. A 64-man army that just does massive, crazy things.
I have made so many amazing friends who have become more like family.
It's something that brought a whole lot of people together. We'll squad up and go and tear it up.
Boom!
You got it?
Oh, I killed them all! I killed them all!
Oh, got a roadkill! I'll never be able to do that again in my life! I'll never be able to do that again in my life. Never, ever. That's it. That's as good as it gets. I should just stop playing. I should quit.
He just disabled a moving truck with a grenade while jumping off a horse. Incredible. We love these only in Battlefield moments, and we want even more of them. So we're bringing more ways for you to play. First, night maps debut this summer. In Neville Nights and Prise de Terreur, you'll need to deploy tactics as you fight through the night in a massive network of trenches. Second, I'm excited to announce a major revolution in Battlefield 1. We're bringing epic battles to the Eastern Front of World War I. In the Name of the Tsar expands Battlefield 1 to the blistering winter in the East. This is the biggest front of World War I, and with it, we're bringing you 6 new maps, the Russian army, including the mighty Hussar cavalry, new vehicles and weapons to expand your arsenal, and the iconic Women's Battalion of Death. Finally, we're introducing a richer gameplay experience in both progression and operations mode. By bringing deeper player progression through all new assignments, the ability to tailor your playstyle with specializations, and new multi-battle experiences woven through the fan-favorite game mode, Operations. All of this coming in September as part of In the Name of the Tsar. And for the next 3 days, the Lupkow Pass map from In the Name of the Tsar is right here at EA Play. For those of you tuning in, you'll get a glimpse of it from these guys when they share it on their channels very soon. So there you have it, 8 new maps in total, opening up the largest front in World War I with new ways to play. There's never been a better time to be part of the Battlefield community. Now enough of me. Let's give you a first look at In the Name of the Tsar. A revolution is coming.
Услышишь гром и вспомнишь обо мне. Полоска неба будет твердо алой, а сердце будет, как тогда. В огне.
Hi, everyone. I have the privilege of leading our global development teams. 6,000 of the most creative people making truly amazing experiences, including Battlefield 1. Now, this summer is going to be huge. So much new content, so much more to play, and so many new ways to play. And there's one more thing we'll bring to Battlefield. Later this year, we're going to give you a new competitive Battlefield experience. We've heard you. You want a smaller, tighter experience focused on team play. You want all-out war built for competition, and you want it accessible to players and to viewers. And it's coming. I can't wait to share more with you guys at Gamescom in August. Now, competition is at the center of EA today, and we've always thought about it a little differently. We believe in making stars of all our players. Let me tell you something really cool. Last month, I was watching an amazing competitor, Shells. He made it to the FUT Championship finals in Berlin. 6 months ago, this guy was an unknown. Now he's a worldwide star. And he'll be competing with the best at the FIFA Interactive World Cup final in August. Now, we want to find more stars, so we're doubling down in competition in ways only EA can. This fall, we're launching the largest FIFA championship ever, with many ways to compete. The best FUT players will compete in the FIFA Ultimate Team Champions Cups. And in our official Football League competitions, you can represent your favorite real-world team. It's true, you can. We'll have much more to share, including our Madden plans later this summer. As developers, your passion is what fuels us. Your stories inspire us, and competition like nothing else brings them to life.
Magnificent goal! If anything happens in this tournament, at least he has that.
This is my first time. My first time. This is my first time competing.
I just thought maybe this is something I could do.
So many good players.
I want to beat them just like they want to beat me.
Oh, wow.
I just don't understand how people think I'm the underdog.
That is confidence right there. This is the highest level that you can play. There is a real thin line between success and failure. How nervous are you right now? It's going to be a really tough game.
I'm never going to lose ever in my life.
Wide open!
He's just a person you can hate.
He is an absolute beast.
Loves it up to Thomas!
I wonder if we're going to see a handshake. Nope, not going to see it.
He's come up in second place time and time again.
And we have again! Rocky scored it!
Now's the time to stand up.
Skimbo is moving on!
This is what competitive gaming's all about.
Oh, my word!
We're about to crown a new king.
There it is! It's Rocky that is your champion!
And Michael Skimbo is your Madden 17 champ.
He's come out of nowhere.
Were you ever in doubt in that game?
I was in doubt the whole time. These guys are going through something special right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, sitting on your couch, this could be you.
There's no I in it, I bring in all my team. Who'd you wanna holler, who'd you wanna never know? Don't be a sheep when you can be the GOAT. Greatest of all time and you never know. Don't show up to my show if you've got no. Yeah. Loud at you, he's a hater, I don't want no bad energy. Man get views but I rage Charles cause I can't see my enemy. I like all types of girls, melanins and melanies. She wants a man from London, she wants a fellow with felonies. That's probably all my team. There's no I in it, I bring in all my team. Gas when they saw my team. Even the bouncers bounce when they saw my team. Who'd you wanna holler, who'd you wanna never know? Don't be a sheep when you can be the GOAT. Greatest of all time and you never know. Don't show up to my show if you've got no energy.
I went early, Rog. I went early. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Men in Blazers. That's Rog, the bald one. I'm Davo, way less bald in person. We are delighted to be here.
Oh, we really are. Some of you will know us as the hosts of one of the top 3 most popular football shows ever to be produced in the panic room and the crap part of Soho.
That is true. Somehow, we convinced world leaders like Will Ferrell to come talk to us about the 5th best sport in the world.
Oh, we've tricked them all, Davo.
Yep.
And the common thread for us is always football and FIFA. And when I speak to players around the world, they all tell me their experience with FIFA runs so deep, it actually impacts the way they play on the field. That is art influencing life,
It's
Davo.
all melding together, Rog. Look at this. Look at how the world's game comes to life in FIFA 18. Player personality that differentiates even the talls from the smalls.
They've even perfected the inimitable run style of Raheem Sterling and developed with detail Anton Griezmann's technical ability to suavely fly past all defenders. So suave.
And these atmospheres, Rog, take a look at this. They make it feel like you're in the Argentinian sun with your pasty white legs. And this is massive, Rog. They've now got the ideal athlete helping to develop the game. Is there anyone better and more genetically sound than Cristiano Ronaldo? Could you get anyone better than that?
Well, that man doesn't have a 6-pack, he's got an 8-pack.
You're right.
And EA Sports know the only way to make Cristiano look better is to jam him in spandex and capture his data. That beautiful man. He's done it all. Let's hear it. Back-to-back champion of Europe, the La Liga title, Ballon d'Or winner, literally every trophy. And most impressive from our perspective, that beautiful head of hair.
He has hair, Roger. But as huge as Ronaldo has been this past year, there's one story bigger than them all.
Oh, yeah. Peter Moore becoming CEO at Liverpool. Good luck with that one, mate.
No, Rog. No, Rog. The biggest story in football is, of course, Alex Hunter. The new hero of the virtual pitch and the star of The Journey. Alex would go on to score more than 360 million goals in his first season. Wow.
That one's true, and so is this one. Whenever our good old English national team take the field over the past year, the single name most tweeted, even more than Sir Harry Kane, Alex Hunter.
Yeah, we could have used him today, Rog.
We could have won it all.
Yeah.
Talking about winning it all, though, what a storybook year Alex Hunter's had.
Yeah.
Winning the FA Cup, just 18 years old, barely passed his bar mitzvah. He's experienced more in his first season than I will in my entire life.
That is true. It was quite the start to a truly amazing journey.
But the life of every footballer is a journey filled with victory, defeat, glory and conflict, dreams come true, and challenges that lie ahead.
So, everyone wants to know, what is next for our man Alex Hunter?
I don't know, Davo, but it seems like everyone's got an opinion.
There is one question on everybody's lips.
What next for Hunter?
Everyone's hunting Hunter.
Alex Hunter has been talked about.
I think all this Alex Hunter talk, I think that's just paper talk, if I'm honest.
Sehen wir Alex Hunter bald in der Bundesliga?
Seine Spielweise ist atemberaubend.
Alex Hunter is a proper talent, a huge talent. He needs the right club and the right manager. Any club will be lucky to have him.
Alex Hunter is in the media every day and it's getting annoying, to be fair.
Oh, it's so irritating. What kind of club would let Alex Hunter go?
And I'm not really sure that a move is the right thing for him.
But this guy's getting too big for his boots, blood.
Alexander is a great player.
He's a beast. Yeah, she is.
He's very quick.
He's got skills.
Amazing skills.
Hunter è un attaccante fenomenale.
Hopefully he's got good people around him.
Hunter's bombed his bridge and he has to look after himself. Go! Go!
I would move. Rumours have got to stop.
Don't go, Alex.
Alex Hunter, you really are wasting time.
Will Alex Hunter stay or go?
Are you sure this is what
risky? Not about this tour of the US.
What does your heart tell you?
If I stay, it will be double. So should I stay or should I go?
What up, guys? Thank you for having me, EA. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jesse Wellens, and I am a YouTube creator. So I am here to talk about Need for Speed, Payback. if you guys didn't know, Need for Speed Payback, yeah, it's a great game. But all right, all set aside, I'm a YouTube creator. Need for Speed Payback, it's coming out. I got my boy Marcus, executive producer here. He is the producer of the game. Thank you, Nick, for having me.
Hey, man. Thanks, Jesse. Obviously, we're really excited to tell everyone about Need for Speed Payback here today, but more importantly, show it. In Payback, you are on a revenge mission to take down the House. House is a cartel that rules the city's casinos, criminals, and cops, and that is we're delivering a brand new experience with wild heist missions, intense cop pursuits, grueling car battles, and jaw-dropping action moments. No longer is it just about being first across the finish line. We are putting you behind the wheel of an action-driving fantasy.
So Need for Speed has been around for a long time. There's been a lot of new things coming to the game and a lot of old things that people are familiar with the franchise.
Exactly. You know, we're putting a new narrative into the game where you drive 3 different characters, Tyler, Jess, and Mac, all bringing their own unique playstyle to the game. You drive across city, mountains, deserts, and canyons in the most diverse open world ever made for a Need for Speed game. There's a lot of great new elements in this game, but also obviously a lot of fundamentals like customization. We go way deeper when it comes to visual and performance customizations, as well as introducing something on top of that, something we call derelicts, which are abandoned classic cars that you transform from scrap to stock to supercars.
Speaking of customization, my homie Nick, AR12 Gaming, he looks like he's customizing a classic Beetle. He's going to be doing a lot more of this customization and gameplay at 1:30 on the stream if you want to come back. But enough talking about it, I'm trying to see it.
Yeah, you know, we're absolutely very excited to show you the first, one of the blockbusters from Need for Speed Payback called the Highway Heist that shows that intense action driving experience. So let's turn around and take a look.
Koenigsegg Regera, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. We intercept, then grab the cargo.
It'll be part of a convoy.
What are you thinking?
Quick hit and run. Get me close to the truck and I'll take care of the rest. Get me close to that truck before it hits the tunnel. The house won't let us anywhere near the truck. We gotta take out those cars. Get rid of these guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get that truck.
Look out! Shit! Damn it!
What the hell?
This guy's out of his mind.
There's something much bigger going on here.
What's the play?
Forget the tunnel. We get him before he reaches the city.
Guys, more house cars headed your way. Freaking tanks is what they are.
They're going down either way.
Take him out, Ty.
Guys, city's coming up fast. Jess, I've got a really bad idea.
Mac?
Ladder on the side. You can get up on his right.
It's now or never, Jess.
Do it. Keep it steady.
Jump!
Jess! Jess? You got this?
Jess!
I got this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good job, team. Let's take this baby home.
Let's see what she can do. Okay, boys. Let's even the odds.
I can assure you that plays as well as it looks. Last year at EA Play, we unveiled EA Originals. The program was something we created to support small, independent studios, to help bring experiences that are unique, gorgeous, innovative, and memorable to the world. We are partnering with game creators through the process from development to marketing to publishing. But EA Originals is also about funding, about offering a level of security. The profits from these games go back to the hands of the developers. We have been overwhelmed with the indie community's reaction to this. I can tell you, we've received hundreds of pitches, many of them brilliant, and as a result, we now have several new titles in development. Today, I want to introduce you to our next EA Originals title, one that I've been very close to from the beginning. This game tells a story in an entirely new way. Now, a few years ago, I played the indie hit, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, with my oldest daughter. I loved how different the game felt. The mechanics and storytelling were really cool, and we both loved the emotional story. So I decided to contact the game's creator, Joseph Fares. When we met, we instantly realized we shared the same passion for games and how to bring new experiences to players. I also found out that he was building a new studio called Hazelight. Now, we're thrilled to be working with Joseph to bring his new project to all of you. What started out as a wild idea on paper has now turned into a groundbreaking, one-of-a-kind game called A Way Out. Take a look.
What's your plan?
Stay the hell away from me, okay?
I'm sure you have good reasons to bust out of here, but I need to get out of here too.
Yeah? Not my problem.
Well, you can trace lines in your face, but it's the way that your spirit makes you walk.
It's pitch black. We need a light.
Screw it. I'll go first.
Oh, crap! You okay?
Your hands up high.
You have a problem?
Yeah, I got a problem with you.
I love you, buddy.
Vincent, what are you doing here?
She's my daughter, too.
See? Problem solved.
Come on, Leo! Your hands up high. My love, I see.
Hey, my name is Joseph Fares, and I'm the writer-director of A Way Out. I'm so excited to be here and show you the game. So, after I finished Brothers, I wanted to make another game that pushed the boundaries on how to tell stories without compromising on gameplay. And this is the reason why I started Hazelight Studios together with the team behind Brothers. And working with EA's Originals was perfect for this, because we have the full creative freedom and trust from EA to deliver the game we truly believe in. And that is very important for Hazelight, let me tell you that. So, the idea for A Way Out came to me when me and a friend trying to find a co-op game that wasn't just a drop-in, drop-out experience. I wanted to play a game where the characters had unique personalities and goals. A game where me and a friend can embark on an emotional journey together. And this is exactly what A Way Out is. The game is designed for split-screen co-op only, and I mean only. So you will be able to play it online, but to get the full experience and feel, we want you and your friend to play it in your couch. And gameplay-wise, Yeah, couch, it's nice, right? Action. Finally, yeah. And what was I going to say? Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, wait, it's coming to me. Come on. Gameplay-wise, it's going to be crazy. There's going to be a huge amount of variation. You're going to be able to play everything. I mean, not everything, but a lot of stuff. There's going to be exploration, driving, action. Also, you won't get tired of this game, I'm telling you. So, but let me tell you this. After you finish playing a Way Out, I will tell you, you will play a co-op game like never before. I know, I mean, I can guarantee that. I know I sound very cocky, but I can't help it because it's true. I'm so pumped up, it's crazy. You don't know, I live, breathe this game. I'm telling you, it's like, it's gonna kick ass, it's gonna kick ass. So right now, I will show you a gameplay video that's gonna show you just a small part of the game, but still, you're gonna get blown away. And I also wanna say that I'm so proud and happy to be part of this industry. It's crazy how fun it is to be here and do these games. It's so much fun. And also, one last thing. I want to say hello to my Hazelight team watching live from Sweden. Thank you, goodbye, hop shaky, boom, come on. A Way Out is a story-driven co-op game. It is designed, played, and experienced only in split-screen co-op, which means you have to play the game with a friend, either online or on your couch. The game starts in a prison. You play as Vincent and Leo. You and a friend will get to know your characters and unfold their story together.
You don't know anything about me, man.
Maybe not. But Harvey killed someone very close to me. With or without you, I'm going after him.
Let me show you some of the scenarios in the game. On the right side, you see Leo, who's already in prison. On the left, you see Vincent, who just arrived. Now, if you look to the right again, you can see that Leo can be controlled, while Vincent is in a cutscene. Here is another one. Vincent and Leo are now in the laundry room. Your goal is to smuggle sheets using a laundry cart. You can approach the scenario in different ways. Either get the cart with Vincent.
No, I got a good pack right here. I think it's got your name on it. It's broken. I don't know.
Or with Leo.
Get over here, you idiot! Yeah, but I think those two guys are just about to fight. What the? What? Who's him?
In A Way Out, you will experience something new all the time. Everything you do in the game is unique for that scene. We want you and your friend to be focused and engaged throughout the entire story. But let me tell you, this is just the beginning of what you will be experiencing in A Way Out.
Get him! Run! Relax, man, I got this.
I know, me again. Thank you, Joseph. That game is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. Now let's switch gears for just a minute. It's great to be here showing you the games you'll play this year. But at the same time, we are inspired to look farther ahead. Creative ideas combined with new technologies become an unstoppable force. We have teams today taking technologies that are changing the world and using them to change the way we play. These are the futurists, the incubators, our talented artists, designers, and engineers within our studios, our Frostbite team, our digital platform team, and a new research division called Seed. What motivates me every day is the responsibility we have to push our industry forward. That's one reason we created this new division. Seed is a small, stealthy team that I work with on a daily basis, exploring some of our most visionary concepts, like deep learning or neural networks, creating a world for you to define, to interact with, and share as you wish, or virtual humans with deeply sophisticated artificial intelligence. So instead of one main character shared by millions, we can have millions of main characters shaped by you. That's just the beginning of how we can blur reality and the digital world. Go anywhere, share your discoveries, be anyone, The games become yours. Now, what we know today is that interactive entertainment will change more in the next 5 years than it has in the last 45. Together, we are building that future, one that disrupts, empowers, and is full of play. And to do that, we also need innovative new platform technology. So when we were thrilled when we got our first project, Scorpio dev kits from Microsoft, 6 teraflops and true 4K graphical fidelity. Now, these Madden NFL 18 visuals are just a taste of what can be accomplished combining Frostbite with Project Scorpio. And already, we are creating the most detailed, high-resolution environments you've ever seen on a console. Madden looks absolutely stunning, but as game makers, awesome graphics and effects are just the beginning. The game has to feel amazing as well. Project Scorpio is a powerful platform, and it's coming at the right time. Now, I have one more thing before I go. New IP is one of the purest forms of innovation in our industry. A brand new idea combined with the latest tech and a vision for something extraordinary. The next game will push every boundary for you. It is vast, dangerous, beautiful, and unexpected. So this is just the first tease that we're showing you today. Then we will have so much more in the Microsoft press conference tomorrow, so don't miss that. But for now, here's the first glimpse of our brand new IP from BioWare.
The wall. It's our armor. It protects us from what lies beyond. But out there, you either live with the choices you make, or die trying to change them. The story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean O'Brien, and I'm here today to share the latest about NBA Live 18 with you. But instead of talking about it, I'd like to show you. We've spent the last 2 years completely overhauling virtually every aspect of gameplay. Now we're going to go outside to a hands-on station out in FanFest so you can check out some of those improvements. And then we're going to come back in here and give you more details about how NBA Live 18 introduces an entirely new way to play a basketball game. We call it the One. Gibbs, Connor, over to you.
Thank you, Sean. You look fantastic every single time I see you. We are here out at FanFest, EA Play. I want to see everyone on social. Use that hashtag EA Play. Tell me what games you're excited to see. I am telling you right now, I am excited to see a first look at NBA Live 18, and no one better in the business than my guy right here, creative director Connor Dugan. Connor, let's take first look, NBA Live 18.
Yeah, what's up? I mean, I'm super excited that people finally get their hands on NBA Live. We're going to take a look at a replay we just got. Q and I were playing. I'm controlling LeBron. Q's controlling KD. Let's take a look.
Get all these angles in here. I want to see the sweat.
All right, so what we're looking at here is I'm using my right stick dribble control, and I'm performing any combination of moves I want. So I can go behind the back, between the legs, and now I'm trying to attack the basket. But KD, or Q, cuts me off with a flick of his left stick, and then I try to go back at him again. This time I'm going to go middle, but Q's late. He doesn't hit his left stick. He misses a timing window, and now I have an open lane to the hoop. So we see Zaza coming over.
Tell me he finishes strong.
He does.
Tell me he finishes strong.
I use my right stick to finish with the left hand, as you can see here, right over top of Zaza, finish in the lane. And then there we have it. LeBron's looking like LeBron. Nice tight shot.
Classic LeBron, baby. That's what it's all about right there. I appreciate this first look at NBA Live 18. Sean, back to you.
Thanks, fellas. Thank you. We're excited for all of you to get your hands on NBA Live 18. And everyone will have an opportunity to do so through a free demo coming in August. Now, this demo will give everyone the chance to start the One and be introduced to this new basketball world. Jumpstart your own legacy through through solo, co-op, and multiplayer experiences and carry all of your progress over to the full game. Now let's take a look at the one.
NBA Live 18 is an all-new way to pursue your legacy. Centered on you, your journey is defined by the choices you make. Welcome to The One. The One unleashes the freedom to play how and with whom you want. Here, the respect you earn on the streets matters just as much as the rings you earn in the league. Rise through the ranks in the league, an authentic NBA experience where you dominate the hardwood on your way to winning championships. But the new NBA Live goes beyond the league, taking you into the streets, where the rules and how you earn respect are different. Team up with friends to take down NBA legends at historic courts like Venice Beach. Throughout your journey, your on-court performance leads to increased skills and new gear as your hype builds in both the streets and the league, from Venice to Rucker Park and everywhere in between. Join the community with 5-on-5 pickup games at iconic, real-world courts. Hit the Drew League and continue to build your legacy in the Pro-Am Tour. Earn the right to go head-to-head with the very best and show off your signature style. From East Coast to West Coast, from the streets to the league, everything you do matters. Your legacy is defined by you and how you choose to play. This is your world. It's time for you to be the one.
I got realness, I just kill cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again, the sound that engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work, I know just who you are. See, use it, your hormones probably switch inside your DNA. Problem is, all that sucker shit inside your DNA. Daddy probably snitch.
Thanks, guys. And thanks to all of the teams here sharing games today. And a special thanks to Joseph and Hazelight. How about that for some passion? Now, we've got a massive finale coming up here in just a moment. 30 minutes of pure, unadulterated Star Wars. But before we get there, I wanted to pause for just a moment. Last week, we did something pretty amazing together. We held our annual EA Play to Give campaign, celebrating the importance of inclusion and play in our communities and in life. We partnered with 3 outstanding charities, the United Nations He for She, and anti-bullying organizations, the Pacer Center and Ditch the Label. We donated $1 million to these 3 great organizations in support of building a more inclusive world. And here's where play comes in. All of you, our millions of players out there, joined us in support of inclusion. You came out in play in 9 in-game challenges. And by coming together, we are showing the world what a positive force that games can be. And to thank you for that, we're opening ways for you to play a bunch of great games for free. Starting today for the rest of the week, Origin Access, as well as the Vaultlin EA Access, are free. For PlayStation 4 players, we'll also have a bunch of free trials running all week. We're talking FIFA, Madden, PvZ Garden Warfare 2, Star Wars Battlefront, and much more. So jump in, bring your friends, have fun with some great games this week while you're getting ready and excited for what's to come. Now, without further ado, we bring you Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I'm Janina Gavankar, and I play Commander Iden Versio, leader of the Inferno Squad in Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm also an advocate for in-depth cinema caliber story in games. That tweet from John Boyega was like the tweet heard around the world. It spoke for all of us. When we play a Star Wars story, we don't live the movies, we watch them a million times. What we do is have a new and authentic, untold story. A story that delivers new perspectives and enables us to play as some of our favorite Star Wars characters while also introducing new ones. And just like Rogue One tells an essential Star Wars story ahead of A New Hope, Star Wars Battlefront 2 will tell a new Star Wars story that helps bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It's good. But EA didn't just stop there. We loved the previous Battlefront of 2015, but we wanted more. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is much bigger than the previous title, with more than 3 times the content of the first game. Yeah. Now, I'm all about that couch co-op, and they're bringing it back with the return of Skirmish, so I'm going to be cuddling up with someone playing me some Battlefront 2. In multiplayer, there are more heroes, more vehicles, more planets. I've been to some of them. More space battles and starfighter assault, and deeper progression and customization, as well as content from across all eras. But, as we know, Star Wars is not just some checklist of great features. How does Battlefront 2 play? The team at DICE in Stockholm has some of the most talented multiplayer designers in the world, and they've been working with the EA Game Changers to make sure Star Wars Battlefront 2 has the multiplayer we're all looking for. These Game Changers, they basically get like tapped on the shoulder because they're the best Battlefront players in the world, and then they get secretly flown out to Stockholm. As long as they provide valuable feedback, they get an early look at the game. Sounds like an awesome program, and if I didn't suck at multiplayer, maybe I'd get an invite. That's true. So let's hear more from them about their time at DICE.
After the release of Star Wars Battlefront 1, the community thought there should have been more. And the good news is this, the developers have been listening.
I'm really excited to let the Game Changers get their hands on the game.
This is going to stay, right? Sorry? The clean UI look is going to stay?
There's still time to change something if it's not working.
Oh my God. My first impression with the game is upgraded. All 3 eras are going to be in the game.
No! Earth bus coming at me! Oh, okay, Battlefront Plus! We've got a whole bunch of new features. One of the biggest ones that a lot of fans are excited about is the class system.
They split the characters up into different classes.
They have different weapons, special abilities that you can customize.
It affects your health. It affects how you are going to support your team.
There's going to be more content. You're going to have to get used to a lot of new different techniques on how to play.
The gunplay and the weapons have completely been redone compared to the first Battlefront. Now there is a lengthened skill gap in it.
It feels a lot better and go, oh, okay, this gun feels kind of more real, less floaty.
Which is your favorite hero so far? We're introducing a system called Battle Points, which will allow you to become not only heroes, but other things on the battlefield.
As you're helping your team play the objective, you gain these points.
There's such a plethora of things to spend it on, vehicles,
or even coming in as a hero.
And the coolest thing, I think, is a level of customization, not just from a weapon standpoint, but the actual character's own abilities.
Collaborating with the Game Changers is always a really great working environment when you're trying to figure things out.
I mean, to know that you're giving key feedback to make it a better experience for everybody, it's like putting your footprint out there and saying, look, I'm part of this.
Is everyone in position?
Yeah. Ready?
Everyone ready?
So I'm going to participate in making the trailer. It's a whole different level of fantasy.
All right, recording.
So 3, 2, 1.
And now, on behalf of the EA Game Changers and DICE, this is the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer gameplay.
Sector is clear. Not clear! Not clear!
All wings. We're coming up on the Star Destroyer, but we need to clear that escort. Let's give him everything we got.
Your next assignments, they are unusual.
Grab onto something!
I'm trying!
Yoda, Darth Maul, Wookiees, Kylo Ren versus Rey. I watched that thing like 20 times backstage with my mom before this even started. My mom's here. Yes, it's a big day for me. I'm sorry. So. Okay. So we have even more exciting things for you. In just a moment, YouTube personality iJustine, shoutcaster Alex Goldenboy Mendez, and DICE developer Paul Kesslin will showcase Assault on Theed, the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer. Yep. We've got 39 game changers ready to go, head-to-head in a 20 versus 20 match, Battle on Theed, and I'm going to take the 40th slot. We'll see. Okay, but you're not going to want to miss this because, like, maybe you've seen some teasers, but this is the real thing, okay? All the bells and whistles, all the newness. But before we take you there, another big Star Wars Battlefront fan has some exciting news.
Hi guys, it's John Boyega here. You thought I wasn't gonna turn up? Yes, I was. But I'm sorry I can't be there with you because I'm doing a play in London. But I do have some great news. Obviously, you know I'm a massive fan of Star Wars Battlefront 1. And now we're going into the next chapter with Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I'm very, very excited to share this news with you. We've seen Yoda, we've seen Luke, we've seen all the other characters, but where's Finn? Finn will definitely be a part of Star Wars Battlefront 2 alongside with Captain Phasma as part of the first season of free content. And there's more. On top of that, we also get to play on the new planet Crate that you saw on the Last Jedi teaser trailer in April. So this is going to be an exciting time. I'm going to be playing. If you see Finn running around whooping some ass, it's me. So I'm getting ready, getting set for you guys to play with me on Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I'm excited. Let's play.
Okay, but did you listen? Finn and Phasma are headed to Star Wars Battlefront 2 this holiday, and it will be free. Yes. The team at DICE heard our feedback loud and clear on the previous Battlefront and are committed to keeping this community together with themed seasons of content post-launch for all players at no additional charge. So, the first season, inspired by Star Wars The Last Jedi, is only the beginning of the additional content coming to this game. All post-launch heroes, maps, weapons, and vehicles will be free for everyone who owns Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yes. And yesterday, EA announced that players who pre-order will get early access to multiplayer beta and Yoda's epic lightsaber mastery star card. So, let us recap. New essential Star Wars story. Multiplayer across all 3 Star Wars eras, space battles, split-screen co-op, and free content that will keep us playing together for years to come. Yes, right? Yes. Yes. I am so honored to be just a tiny little part of this team making this amazing game. I can't believe they let me do this today. And I can't wait to play the game in its entirety in November. And I get to start right now. So I'm going to go pick up my controller, and I'm going to throw it over to Justine and Golden Boy and Paul to take us to Assault on Theed, the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer.
Thanks so much. Hey guys, welcome to the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer gameplay, Assault on Theed. We're ready to show you guys the live gameplay for the first time. I'm your host, Justine, and with me here today, we've got Golden Boy and Paul Kesslin, producer from DICE. What have we got going on here today, guys?
We got a lot going on today. First of all, what we're going to see today is a 3-stage mode. It's our new gameplay. We'll be showing people going. The droids are attacking Theed. They'll be going all the way up the main pathway towards the Royal Palace. They need to escort the MTT tank. From there, if we progress to stage 2, the droids need to try to bypass security, make their way into the palace itself. If they're successful, they'll be able to take on the throne room, and there the droids will ideally try to capture that from the clone army. Unfortunately, the clone army's still there, needs to try to push them out and make that last stand.
Can we just take a moment here and appreciate the fact that we get to be droids in Star Wars? This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. Are you guys excited? Man, you guys got to come alive over here because we're going to see some great gameplay. We have some great game changers who are going to be competing here. And I use competing as a term because these guys are holding nothing back just yet.
Yeah, no, it's been super exciting, and we got a chance to play yesterday, and it's just really fun to sort of get into this environment. You know, it's something that we've seen in the movies, but we're actually in the gameplay, and with somebody here who has actually worked on the game. So let's talk more about what we're seeing here and getting into this, because there's 3 phases to this. So currently, we're in phase 1.
That's right, and also we have some great game changers. You saw one of them pop up in just a little while. It was BF Updates, Pool Shark, Mooselk. We also have my boy Darkness, a.k.a. Dankness. He will be playing as well. We have Westy, Master G, Star Wars HQ, and some NBA Live, just cuz. Why not? You know, just do your thing. But anyway, here you go. So, Star Wars Battlefront 2, folks. Now, this is awesome because essentially phase 1, you get to escort an MTT down the street of Theed here, and the pressure is on for the clones. They have to hold back the assault here, Paul.
They do, definitely. The droids are sitting there trying to escort that MTT up the main pathway. If they're successful, we go on to that phase 2. But right now, what we're seeing is some specialist gameplay from, I think, Battlefront updates.
Yeah, let's actually talk about the specialists, and also you're going to see a couple different classes here. This class in particular that Master G is using is the heavy class. Specialist, kind of your sniper, right? But the heavy class, what do they do here?
So the heavy class is great. They got a bit more health than your average trooper. They're also able to pop that combat shield, try to push into areas. So you can see those guys as pushers or defenders in some areas. But it looks like we got one of our Vulture droids right now. Not sure who's flying this guy, but these guys are great at air-to-air, trying to take out those other ships that might be coming in, that Naboo N1 Starfighter. Otherwise, they're there to provide some great ground support like we're seeing here, trying to get some strafing runs in on those clones.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Come on, man.
Missed that tower.
You just did it wrong there, buddy.
So it's
Sorry
great because
about that.
we also do have the air support, but we also have ground support as well.
We do. So another thing that those air vehicles are great at is trying to take out some of the ground vehicles that you may see. The droid army has the AAT tank, something that's really great at troop suppression. But we see here a little clip of the V-Wing doing that. Oh, man, he's just mowing some droids down there.
Yeah, just absolutely shredding. You're going to see this happen quite a bit, especially in this phase, because there's a lot of open field here, right? And you can just come through for some great great bombing runs, really, and eliminate as many people as you possibly can. And also, you put the presence of an air vehicle out there. Players will fear the skies, and they will, look for cover in this map where it's already difficult to find cover to begin with in this phase in particular.
Absolutely, and you can see right now that there is an AAT tank sitting around on the battlefield. He is probably taking out those clone troopers, but this Vulture droid is really stepping it up.
What I love about this is everyone's like, oh, look at this great open map. And then when you start phase 2, it's like everything starts coming in and coming way closer together. And we were talking a little bit more about the Assault class. So for somebody who has just started playing this, never played any previous versions, do you feel like the Assault class might be something perfect for them to pick up?
I think the Assault class is yes, absolutely. It's something that is, ooh, that's painful. The Assault class is something that a lot of players will be able to jump right into. They're your frontline flanker attacker. I think they're going to be fairly easy. You can get right in and just start having your typical run and gun action. Their signature ability, you see here at the top of the screen, your number 2 ability, that switches you over to a shotgun. You get a little bit faster, and you're able to really get in there and kind of break through those front lines.
Oh, I love it. I love using the shotgun, man. It is so good. And it's actually, when I first used it, it really caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. And I said, wait a minute. I could destroy people with this. So I just charged into the room and just absolutely shredded everyone. It was so fun to play with here. We're also seeing some great dogfighting here between the clones and the separatists. This is certainly what a lot of folks love in Star Wars, and just really in any game that DICE makes, right? They just always do a good job with the air combat. He's really trying to track him down. This Vulture's
not
really
having much luck.
No,
yeah, that Vulture cannot shake him.
Well, so we got Star Wars HQ here. He's playing the Assault class again, and you saw here he has the signature thermal detonator that he'll be able to kind of suppress some of those guys with as he rushes in.
And there are different weapons as well. Like one of the guns that I would oftentimes use was the semi-automatic gun. It fired a lot slower, but you can get some great shots with it. And then there's also this nice compact SMG style blaster that really shreds through people in close range. I was using it a little.
I mean, we want to give you a little bit more weapon variety this time around,
Yeah.
Also, some AAT tank action here, and this is doing what it does best. It's suppressing that point, trying to keep those clones out of the way.
They're trying to make their way forward as the objective continues to march down. He has to get away from that.
He's trying to, I don't know, is he trying to flank the tank? That's not smart.
I don't know, man. Maybe he will. Maybe
you saw a little combat roll there. Got to give you some escape options in case you get into some hairy action.
Uh-oh, we didn't get to see this one before. Finally,
tell us about
some ATRTs. Yes. So these are great for taking out those AATs. So these guys are a little quick. They have an ion charge ability. That way they'll be able to do a little bit more extra damage against the tank should they see it. So you can imagine like 3 or 4 of these on the battlefield really rushing around points. Like, look at this. He's just
Can you stomp someone out? What can you do with this?
You can run someone over if you want.
I was actually going to say, could I get shot off of it if I'm on top of it because my body's exposed? That question was answered, instantly.
Almost immediately.
Yeah, almost immediately. Oh man. So Mr. Muselk here. Look for this guy to be on a tear a little bit later as well. And also, I did want to highlight, we had an officer, as a matter of fact, right in front of Star Wars.
We did, one of my favorite classes.
What is it about the officer that makes it so unique?
I mean, my Twitch skills aren't where they used to be. I'm a bit slower nowadays, but I'm able to really buff up my class, or buff up my teammates, try to let them get some extra health, let them push through the points faster. And,
what happened there?
Finally, some good dogfighting going in there.
Okay, all right. And one starfighter.
What's great about some of these starfighters is these are accessed through our new battle point system. So instead of finding a pickup token on the map like we used to in the last game, you're now able to, depending on how well you do, whether you're scoring points via kills, via team play assists, or you're playing the objective like we really want players to do, you're earning points continuously that will allow you to spend those on whether it be a special character, whether it be a vehicle, or even a hero.
And the battle points that allows you to unlock all of those things.
All those things, definitely.
And also something to look out for too. When we get into phase 2, that's when battle points are really going to play a role there, right?
I mean, right now, definitely you see a lot more. It's an open space. You have time for this air combat, and some vehicle gameplay. But once we get inside, it's going to be a different story.
That's right. Things are definitely getting to heat up. And what is this happening, right? This is a lock-on just trying to shake him out?
Yep.
Yeah, they better enjoy their air combat here, because that's not going to be happening for much longer.
Oh, Master G is just destroying him. Oh, he got picked off. Nice job.
But he was doing what he needed to do, support his team, right? It's that combined arms fire. You want to make sure that somebody's trying to cover you from the air.
Oh boy. So, and you can see after every respawn as well, you get those
how many points you're earning.
Right? So
That's
you
right.
can use those later on. Got some specialist gameplay here as well. Maybe you can take off a couple faces perhaps.
And so in the specialist class, you can also deploy different types of traps as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So they have access to a trip mine. So if you want to sit there and you want to be, that true sniper character, you set up some trip mines behind yourself, make sure nobody can flank you. But really, you're there to provide some of that cover fire for your troops downrange. And it's especially potent in this area because it is such a big open area. So that specialist will really shine in phase 1.
Some More bombing runs here and just absolutely tearing them up. I have to say, man, Musok is killing it in this world.
Again, he's doing great. Oh, and we see there one of the officer classes right next to one of the clones.
Officer, fantastic for pushing, right? You want to be able to push the objective.
Definitely.
Support your team. Like, if you are playing with your buddies, you want to be able to have at least one officer available because he keeps you going in the fight.
At least. I mean, they really help push, when those heavies are trying to drive towards a point, you got your officers behind you, giving you some extra health, making sure that you're still able to complete that push. Or on the opposite side, if you're one of the droids and you really need to lock down a point, the officers have access to a turret that they can place on the ground and, give it a little bit more fire support for that area.
I'm trying to see if Massive G here is, he's really focused on the bombing runs, right? He's not trying to go into combat with Musok, who's up there. There's Darkness 429. Just shredding everyone up here. Maybe he can get a couple kills in the corner.
He just went into siege mode?
Yeah, this is happening.
Oh, yeah, so tell us about the siege mode. How does this play out?
In siege mode, for a limited time, you're able to just blow up some huge area effect shots. You lock down your position, but you're able to have a lot more firepower.
We also just saw the B2 Super Battle Droid there as well. That's something you can get
Another
with
one of my
Battle Points
favorites.
as well.
Another one of my favorites. Yeah, and you can grab those guys via the battle point system. Those guys, great at pushing points again. They have high health, a lot of rapid fire. Oh!
Here we go.
Oh, there it is.
And this big explosion indicates phase 1 is over. Now we start phase 2, and this is when the action really begins to pick up here because it gets really tight inside of that building, and players need to be mindful of that and look for this B2 to just shred through everyone, especially with that cooling ability that he has, to be able to keep him just constantly shooting in the fight.
He's gonna make a huge difference here as the fight moves inside. I mean, there's gonna be narrow pathways. He's gonna be able to just shred as soon as anybody gets in his way, because it's those narrow corridors. It's gonna be trouble.
And just waiting for the prime opportunity to push up here. Players falling, got White Boy there, and here we go.
This is some Darth Maul action.
Here we go, folks. Darth Maul.
This is where it starts to get interesting.
This is scary.
Darth Maul will excel in phase 2 and phase 3 as you're inside. I mean, he's a great mobile attacker. He's going to sit there with his lightsaber.
Especially close quarters too, so he's absolutely perfect for that.
Absolutely. I mean, some of his abilities you can see here, he's got that spin attack. He's able to just rush in and out of combat and just take guys out in the process.
It was funny, I was talking to Musok earlier, and he was using Darth Maul, and he was saying how there's Boba Fett as well. But he was talking about how he wishes Darth Maul could reflect. I was like, if he could reflect, he'd be too strong. He'd be way too strong.
This is a good flank. That was a good flank by Boba Fett and Maul. Just shredded the clone army, unfortunately.
What role does Boba Fett fill in this battle?
Boba Fett is definitely a hunter-killer. So if the clone army is able to get some of their heroes in play, like this is where Boba Fett will really shine. Is with that jetpack of his, he's able to kind of float above the battlefield, fire off some rockets, and really just take out an individual target.
And so what difference does he have from the last game?
From the last game, we've given him a bit new tricks. He's got a new concussion rocket that will really disorient players completely. But he also has this rocket barrage instead of just one rocket. He's able to really just lay down some suppressive fire.
Nice. Also, one thing to keep in mind, we saw the B2, here we go, but on the clone side, there are specialist, characters that you can pick up as well. We haven't seen much of it yet, but that would be the clone jump trooper.
That's right.
Very different from the standard like assault class or heavy class. It has the jump jets that you love from Battlefront, the original.
That's right.
Brought back here, but now focused on the central class.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're back to Boba Fett here with the rocket jumps there.
He's shredding.
Able to just lay down so much firepower. It's intense.
Oh,
they got him though.
Down. Jesse was able to find him on that one, but here comes some officer gameplay here.
Oh, good. Finally, somebody playing some support.
Support people matter too.
They do.
You gotta give them some love.
We're the linchpin of the team,
Yeah, exactly. Now, what is his 2 exactly? His 2 is the healing ability?
His 2 ability is that, yeah, exactly. It's that healing ability. It gives you a little bit of buff for your little over health, but it also heals you back up. So it's, here we got some of the jump troopers.
Oh boy, and here we go. It's getting ready for phase 3 in just a little bit. There's a jump trooper. We talked about him before. Jump trooper, super fun to play. But again, it's attached to a specialist now, so not everyone's going to have it equipped, although it was really fun in the original Battlefront.
That's right.
But I am going to be excited to hop in a jump trooper and shred people myself.
I mean, I know a lot of people love the jump at.
Oh, now we've got Rey. Not going to lie, I'm super excited to play as her.
She's quite a powerful character.
Don't run.
Some of her abilities.
She got out of that one really quickly, but they got her.
The droid fallen by a simple droid.
No, but Rey
how does her mind trick affect enemies?
Absolutely. So raised mind trick is something that against all enemies, they'll be confused for a little bit, and your controls will kind of work against you, making you a little bit more vulnerable to attack.
Just so you guys know, this is when it gets insane. Because there's so much going on here, and was that a little Han?
We saw a little Han, yeah.
Are we gonna get some Han?
I hope so.
I hope so.
But I mean, you saw it earlier. So every time you finish a life, we'll show you how many battle points you have, and some people have enough points to get those reinforcements. And especially this late in the game, you'll see a lot more of these special classes coming out, a lot more of the heroes coming out. So again, this jump trooper here, with his rocket launcher and his jump pack, trying to be mobile, trying to fly into that last zone and capture a point.
This is really where heavies are going to thrive as well, because my goodness, you just see
laying down fire
through the doorway, just absolutely dominating the clones. They need to push out. They need to fight this one out here. There are so many lives left that the Separatists have to their team. They could really run through this. The clones have to start acting fast, because if they cap it, that will be it. The Separatists will win this game.
It's not looking so good for my boys in the clone army.
I'm a Separatist fan, so I'm excited.
I'm just gonna go on whichever team wins.
Oh,
okay.
So I'm not gonna be too picky here.
Okay, jump and ship. I understand that. No loyalties. Maybe you are Sith after all.
Maybe I am.
Oh, who knows?
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Yeah. So in this third phase, though, in the droids are trying to capture that throne room. So you can see here, if you remember, it's just this is the main throne.
And this is such super close quarters. Do you have any sort of strategies that you would?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're the clones, you're hoping that. Oh, geez.
Han Solo's just getting torn up.
This is gonna be trouble.
It's like too soon, man. I can't relive Force Awakens again. Like don't do it.
Darth Maul is just destroying absolutely everything. I mean, is there any tips to taking him down?
I mean, you want to try to combined arms fire.
Oh.
The tip is blasters.
Run away. Maybe run away.
Run away and just shoot the crap out of Darth Maul. Oh man.
He was our MVP. Look at that.
Nice stuff. Moose-Elk. Congratulations. 36 kills he ended up picking up there, man.
My goodness.
Well, guys, that was it. What did you guys think?
Intense.
Not bad. I'm lying. It was freaking awesome. I love it. It's so good. It's like, I love the class-based gameplay personally, because again, you can really get your squad, your friends to get together and say hey, I want to, run the officer, and we're running through some highlights here. Maybe not wasn't the best highlight.
Not the best highlight.
Because although maybe it wasn't.
Let's take a look at some of these highlights.
Actually, I think it's just a crash montage. I think that's what we're gonna do at this point. It's just all crashing all the time. I'm down with that.
But it was Moose-Elk. I mean, he's sitting there, getting as many battle points as he can before his next life. I mean, that's what you want to try to see with this battle point system. You want to either snowball your points, keep earning them, keep building, getting more and more things.
Yeah, that's right. And again, just the game. One thing I do want to compliment the team on, EA and DICE, just the way the game looks. It's so beautiful, especially seeing this part of the Star Wars universe brought to life. The way that you guys really managed to do so. I mean, kudos on that one. Once again, just dropping jaws everywhere.
We try. I mean, the team back home is amazing. They do incredible things. I mean, you can see it looks so pretty. Just look at this laser fire. It's intense, and it looks beautiful.
It really does look incredible.
So good. We're just gushing right now. We get it. The game looks good. Definitely. Oh man, well that was awesome. And overall, I mean, I have to say, I can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait to coordinate with my friends. And destroy the clone scum. I can't wait for that. Yeah, exactly. Separatists all day.
Well, guys, that was so awesome. Now, if you guys are in LA, you can come join us at FanFest this weekend. And if you come down on Monday, we've got a chance for you guys to win a trip to Gamescom in Germany this August. All you have to do is come and play, which is, that's not asking too much. And you have to be the best player of your match, and you guys will be entered to win a trip for 2 to Cologne, Germany, and a full pass to Gamescom. You've been before.
Yeah, I've been there plenty times. It's one of the most ridiculous conventions ever if you happen to go. It's insane. It's massive. So you're if you don't get the trip, you're going to be really sad. But if you do get the trip, you and a buddy, you're going to have a good time. It's a fun time. Hopefully I'll see you there.
Well, if you guys like Star Wars like we do and you guys want to play as your favorite heroes and villains, you guys can download Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes right now on Android or iOS. And you can play as any of the iconic characters that you guys saw today and many more. Paul, I also heard that you're making Battlefront 2 because you've been playing a lot of Galaxy of Heroes.
I play a ton of Galaxy of Heroes.
Sorry to cut that short, but I don't think we're missing too much. Welcome back, everybody, to GameSpot's E3 stage. We just saw EA's press conference. A couple new games, a couple things we did not expect, a couple things we did expect. We want to get into it for the next half hour. After that, EA will keep playing a few games. I believe they're playing Madden later, maybe FIFA, and Battlefield 1 DLC. But first, I want to bring it back to our crew to talk about what we just saw. Peter Brown.
Hi.
We just saw Battlefield 1 DLC in the name of the Tsar.
Yeah.
And we had talked about how it might be bringing it to the Russian front, and now we know for sure that it is. We also know that it's bringing 2 night maps, which could be pretty cool if you're into the multiplayer.
That seems kind of nice.
Yeah, it's bringing the Battalion of Death, the Women's Battalion of Death from the Russian army. I don't know much about that historically, but it sounds pretty badass. I'm curious to see how this will bring people back into the game. I'm here with Kelly Plagge and Rob Hanlery, both of which you played Battlefield 1 a decent amount, Rob, you especially. What do you think of this Russian DLC?
It was just a little tease, really. I mean, we'll have to, again, later on they're going to show some more gameplay. And, I think that will officially sell me. But yeah, these are some new vehicles right here. Engine bombers. Train I mentioned, yeah. Snowplow.
That's the Behemoth, presumably, right?
Right, so it is the Eastern Front. And yeah, this looks pretty cool. As far as for snow map, looks like you can impale someone while on horseback. I guess that seems new to me.
You had also talked about how you wondered how the dynamic weather would affect it. It does look like the blizzard will be playing into it, the cold somehow.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not just another sandstorm like they've already used in the desert maps. I'm hoping maybe it actually plays into something.
Like there's some sort of different element to it.
Like the cold might affect it. I don't know.
That'd be super cool.
Screw up vehicles or something.
Yeah, maybe it like slows you down as far as movement.
And then I'm curious about like these maps. There's 2 new night maps, which can change how you play. Obviously, like lower visibility, just like we talked about with the sandstorms. But the actual Eastern Front, huge. Like a lot of people fought in it during World War I. I'm curious how like there's 8 new total maps.
Right.
I'm curious like if those 2 night maps are included in that 8, or if those are separate.
I think they are, but I think the Vel Knights, believe that is the Franco-German or Franco-British versus Germans. I think that was actually in France.
Okay.
So they're doing Eastern and I guess new French maps.
Oh, cool.
So. Do you guys think this will be enough to bring you back into the game this summer?
Could possibly. I was, they didn't talk much about like, earlier the pre-show we were talking about, what we wanted. They said they're in premium friends and how that would work out. Any changes? I was hoping for that, but hopefully maybe they touch on that in the later gameplay.
Yeah.
EA play they're doing.
Yeah, I didn't actually play too much Battlefield 1, so I think this is going to be the reason for me to really get back into it. Like I said before, I'm really excited about the Russian women's battalion, which is just super cool, like historically very interesting to me. And just having a reason, with all the great games that we have out now, like having a reason to revisit one from last year that I kind of didn't have a chance, like a great game from last year. So, yeah, I mean, DLC is always a good reason to get back into something, if it's good, Obviously, if it's not good, then no.
Sure, no, we saw a decent amount of the In the Name of the Tsar DLC, but we also saw a ton of Battlefront 2, which I want to get into later, but I do want to touch on a couple things that we saw earlier in the show. We saw the continuation of Alex Hunter's story. If you played FIFA 17, that was the journey mode where it actually followed a character through cutscenes and through trials in his career and his actual journey through, I believe, the Premier League, but they also showed in these kind of like gameplay clips, Cristiano Ronaldo's motion capture. But it goes back to Alex Hunter, and it appears he is here in LA actually playing for the Los Angeles Galaxy in Major League Soccer. The whole question of everybody like in the news coverage saying, is he going to stay over in Europe or is he going to come over here? A la David Beckham coming to Los Angeles Galaxy. And I'm curious. It looks like NBA Live is also kind of following in, like we predicted, in FIFA's footsteps with a character and a story-driven mode. But it also sounds like they're kind of, like putting a lot of emphasis on the crowds, the atmospheres. They kept saying the actual arenas here. They started showing the crowds a lot and saying it's going to feel more like a dynamic crowd. And I'm curious if that'll actually really affect playing the game all that much.
No, it won't affect playing the game at all. I mean, it'll just affect your
perception of the thing you're looking at. I mean, that's always been one of FIFA's classic problems, is that, problems at least in the eyes of people that are the most passionate about it, is that they don't really care so much about these cosmetic upgrades. That's not really the point. That's not why they play a game like FIFA.
Yeah.
Maybe then that is why they play a game like Pro Evolution Soccer instead. So, I mean, good to see that they're still improving that, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's not really the thing to focus on.
I just mentioned NBA Live is also doing a similar thing with the One mode. Sounds kind of...
Yeah, it's like the year of story mode in sports games.
Right. Yeah, well, Madden has the long shot, I believe they
Yeah.
said, which is more of an aging player trying to come back into the game. But yeah, it seems like they're following in Battlefront 2's footsteps of bringing a single-player story into it. I mean, you would not expect with sports games, but as someone who used to play Madden yearly up until maybe 2010 or something, then stopped, and FIFA a lot with like my siblings, they're actually kind of cool. And I didn't play FIFA 17, so I don't know how well it worked. I know Oscar Deas in our UK office plays it a ton, but I know like him and a lot of other people had gripes with the minutia of FIFA 17. But with the Journey 2 and like all these minor things that they're kind of tweaking, and with Madden especially, they're trying to say, like Madden 17, they're putting a lot of emphasis on the actual moment-to-moment like juking and running and the actual passing gameplay. But these story modes are kind of the most interesting part to me, maybe as someone from the outside looking in at these EA Sports games.
It seems like the one thing with like these games, right? That Peter, you mentioned like before. There's not much you would want to change. You don't want to steer too far off that track. So it's like a story mode is where you can take more of your risks and to also excite someone coming in to have something different to play. I mean, especially with NBA Live, we saw a lot of really nuanced control. Like the control scheme seemed really, really in depth. So it was cool for like the really hardcore player, but I like that for somebody who's maybe dropped off from these games, or like me, who has only ever like really watched people play. I've never really jumped in myself for a lot of the different sports games.
Yeah.
The story mode it's like they have something for both kinds of players, which I like. Because I especially like the NBA Live one is like, oh, you can do the street mode or the like NBA mode, which is cool.
Yeah, they were saying they were emphasizing like their kind of homegrown street playing growing up on the streets or whatever. And then they were actually talking about how like that'll factor into your professional career. But between Longshot and the One and the Journey Season 2, it seems like they're all taking that approach. One thing I do want to mention with FIFA, we know it's coming to the Switch, right? We didn't really see anything. Do you think that's something we'll see with Nintendo's conference? Is it big enough to warrant attention?
I'd be shocked. No, I don't think we're going to see it from Nintendo's conference.
Yeah.
I feel like if we do maybe like a 5-second clip, something like that, they're not working with a lot of time this year.
Sure.
So.
And I don't think that's the preferred platform for a lot of people playing FIFA.
Right.
I feel like they would just gravitate toward, PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah.
And then of course we did see much more of a Need for Speed Payback, which we talked about before in the pre-show, and we kind of said, they're going for this what do you want to say, Fast and Furious vibe, more like heists and whatnot, and actual kind of action. And we saw this chase. They were chasing down a truck. There are 3 playable characters, and it seemed to switch between them. Rob, you were saying you thought it might be one that you picked at the beginning of the mission, but that didn't seem to be the case here.
Right. It seemed fairly linear, like you were helping whatever your like partner is get onto the truck, and then it auto switched to then your driver stealing the car out of the truck.
Yeah.
That looked, visually looked really awesome.
Yeah, it looked gorgeous.
It was cool. The one other thing we mentioned was like the in that gameplay highway stretch, you were ramming cars into poles and obstacles, and it would cut to a slow-mo kind of wreck cinematic that seemed to be very much on the fly. But I think you mentioned, or Peter, I said it was cool, and then Peter brought the good point, which was like, let's hope you can prevent that. Like it could get old, right?
Yeah, it happened like every 10 seconds in these clips they were showing, and I was already kind of growing tired of it.
Yeah, hopefully, that's what, this stuff right here. It does look really cool. As long as you can, engage it and disengage it, I think that would be.
Especially if crashing into cars is like a key mechanic that you can use as an offensive move. Right. If they're encouraging you to do that, frankly, they can at least let you tailor the experience around that.
I kind of like a sped up mode of it. I remember when I first saw like Doom gameplay, I was worried that the what were those attacks called? The melee
glory kills.
The glory kills would like halt the momentum, but if they could, but right here it looks like it actually is halting momentum. Also, this truck destroyed like half of a city. But yeah, they're definitely the banter between the 3 characters. It sounds like one has a foreign accent of some sort. I'm just assuming it's like an international group of thieves or something. It definitely gave me like almost, like Fast and Furious being the obvious comparison, but like an Ocean's 11 vibe. The kind of just like this dumb banter between people.
Yeah, like doing some heisting.
Italian job. Yeah, no, I'm curious to see how this would actually play out of a story. It also looks like they are ditching the live-action cutscenes, unless they just have yet to show us.
No, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I think they're smart to react to the.
I don't even think it was a backlash. It was just like, what?
I'm just glad they're not pursuing it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of cringy a couple years ago when we saw it. But yeah, Need for Speed, Payback. Yeah, there's a lot of customization of the cars they were pushing for, what they were talking about in the press conference, which kind of feeds into what you were talking about for the Horizon.
Yeah, remind me. I forgot what the system was in Forza, but you would, you find those cars stranded out in the world, and then you
they were called.
Bring them in.
You find them in like barns or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Barns.
Barn finds.
Barn
finds.
You just find like car
barn
parts.
finds. No, there was something.
Barn fights.
Barn fights. Sure.
Bar fights.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
But that seemed neat, and then you could probably cater it. Like again, they were really emphasizing the customization options, right? So you can take these classic cars, like a Bug, it looked like was one of them, and and really like customize it, put like a cool grill on it, and lift it, maybe some underglow.
Yeah. Yeah. But we also saw, I think, one of the more surprising things of the show. We had talked about, the fact that Josef Fares was coming on to E3 this year, and after they announced that EA was gonna support his last game, this game after Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was published by Starbreeze, and now he came on stage to show off A Way Out, which looks like a cross between Shawshank Redemption and Uncharted and Prison Break. So that first teaser trailer back in 2014, I think, was just them on, or one or two characters on that the cargo
on the train,
car of a train, right? And now this has to be played co-op, split screen.
Right.
Whereas the first game you could not play because that would have ruined the
They
experience.
can play online.
He also said online, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That
online.
seems like very difficult, right? If you were required to have another player online and someone drops, like I don't know, just
it seems like a huge barrier to entry.
Yeah, like if it's a random person, say I don't have any friends to play with, then I want to get into this game, I am paired up with someone who is questionable, right? Like as far as like their internet connection, and then I'm getting dropped, and then what happens then? Does someone just swap in? I don't know.
These are valid concerns, but I think we have to at least strive for best case scenarios, like in order to like have experimental projects like this.
Yeah.
Brothers was.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if we try to keep it to the lowest common denominator of what's possible, then we're not going to really challenge ourselves and do insane stuff. So I totally hear you. Like these type of things often irk me, but knowing what they did with Brothers, I'm willing to put up with it to see what they can do with their next thing.
Yeah, they talked about how one player could be in a cutscene while the other is just roaming around. Like one player was, I think in the demo, one character was in a cutscene talking about how this character had this that could help them out, and then you see the other person playing and going up and just like smashing his face into the bar.
Yeah, that's super interesting because you have to balance like paying attention to the cutscene if you're the player who's in game, like actual gameplay.
Yeah.
The way he beats up this guy. So
Yeah.
Get in the closet.
It has this like asynchronous element that I think is really interesting.
Yeah. I think it's a really smart choice to consider like a prison break for something like this, just to have those panic-inducing moments like that. That one clip of them like, you think of like Shawshank, right, or like The Rock for Even, where they're like in the walls, like using their backs to like arch up. You know what I mean? Like I could see, or just any chase moment.
Yeah, but then they show stuff after this where they like go back to being criminals, or like
it's like Uncharted.
Assuming they were before. Yeah, but they go once you actually break out, the game does not stop. You keep doing stuff outside. It showed him, assaulting that police officer, and then actually, kind of, I think in the cutscene, planning another job of some sort.
And I think it's the prison break and like crime element is the right setting for this kind of co-op too, because it's like an immediately like it builds camaraderie right away.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be like, oh well, even if I don't like you, I want to get out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good point.
So it's like it's like sometimes co-op can be hard to get into because you're like, what is my motivation for not just messing with whoever I'm playing with, especially if you're playing with like if I play with my brother, I'm like just gonna screw him up. You know? This one's like it seems like there's actually incentive to do things even if you're playing with a stranger. Yeah.
A symbiotic kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, A Way Out was kind of one of the ones that surprised me pleasantly in a show that I don't think surprised me all that much. Maybe it was just because some of the stuff leaked, but we did see Anthem which is what we now know is the new BioWare
Yeah, we saw something.
IP. We saw it.
Yeah, it was pretty minimal.
But we know what it is. It's called now. We
Yeah,
know like
yeah.
what they're going for. It definitely seems like it has a Destiny vibe.
The wall.
All the way to the wall. But now it seems like there are exoskeletons, mechs involved. But from the way that they were describing it before,
Monsters there.
Yeah, monsters of some sort.
Kind of like locust plague or something.
Sci-fi post-apocalypse of some sort. They said we will see much more of it during Microsoft's press conference tomorrow, which we will also be covering. So come back for that. But yeah, here you see something that looks a bit more along the lines of, I don't know, like an exosuit rather than BioWare's past.
Seems cool.
Let's see gameplay.
I
Wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I need to see more. I'm very fatigued on this kind of setting.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like we've seen exosuits, I've seen sci-fi post-apocalypse stuff so much that I just am not excited yet.
That could be many games they just showed us.
Yeah, it's not like I haven't seen anything that's uniquely BioWare, right? I mean, that's obviously a teaser. Like I want to be fair to it, but it's the setting is so played out that they have to do something really surprising and fresh with it for me to be excited.
Yeah, hopefully it's that story, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Everyone has an extra toe.
That's the
difference
conceit here.
Yeah.
I would play that. I don't know what that is. So yeah, they said EA announced they would show off more of Anthem, which we now know it's called. It's no longer called Project Dylan, thank God. But they'll be showing that off more at Microsoft's press conference tomorrow, which we'll be covering. And of course, we saw a ton of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Nothing from Respawn or Visceral that we had hoped for as far as Visceral goes, or that I had hoped for, but we did see a lot of Battlefront 2, which we knew we would see. Went back in time to the Clone Wars, Separatists versus clones in Theed, capital city of Naboo. Like we said earlier on the pre-show, we did kind of see leaked footage of this happening. We got to hear narration from a few people while this was happening, so we had a better sense of what was going on. Rob, from your time with the first game and seeing this new mode, Siege, I believe it's called, tell me how this unfolds as opposed to what we might have seen in the first Battlefront.
Sure. It's reminiscent of one of their last DLCs. I guess you could say the Death Star and the from the first game, Death Star and Scarif.
Yeah.
In which you're escorting the Walker, and the other one in this case you're the Separatist and you're escorting the transport here. But then it kind of narrows down to like phase 2, which is if the Separatists get through the clone lines, then it's a more close quarters. Take the throne room in the building.
Sure.
Now that's just the one mode they're showing here. This is all.
Was that Yavin they just showed? That like swampy kind of temple planet? Yavin 4, would that have been?
Not Yavin 4. That would have been like.
I don't know. I forget.
But
But yeah, they showed a little bit of the space battle too. Did we see gameplay of this?
No.
I don't think so. And I wonder, like you were saying, I wonder if this.
Yeah, I mentioned
it was a separate
asteroids.
mode in the first Battlefront. I kind of want it to be an actual like the original Battlefront 2 had that like the actual space battles that played out very
Right.
player focused rather than this separate mode.
Yeah.
Right, and in the last game it was just a death match.
Yeah.
With no obstacles for the most part, which is boring. It gets boring after a while. So you saw, I mean, that's the one thing they kind of teased was like asteroids and flying around that, and as well as what they've said is that each side has a cruiser you want to attack and defend. So we'll see some of that, I guess, later on. I don't know about E3, but sometime. But yeah, they showed off Feed. That map looks gorgeous. That game will always look gorgeous. And aesthetically, it's promising always. I guess the most notable thing that I took away is that battle point system.
Right. Yeah.
Is kind of the centerpiece opposed to the tokens that were in the first game, where if you know Battlefront, you want to fly a X-wing, you got to find that token on the field, and it's random, and it's frustrating. That goes with the hero system as well. So the battle point system is basically, you get kills, say a couple kills, I can immediately get into one of these things. There's like a V-wing, they said. I can choose to get into a vehicle, or I can hold out until I reach 5,000, and then I can play Han Solo or Rey. And I think that's nice. That's slightly a more
It's a smarter way to sort of reward your progression and abilities, right?
Right.
Rather than make these random heroes.
Right, just being like, oh, cool, look at me, I stumbled on this thing I didn't actually earn in any way, shape, or form.
And like you might not even need, like we were seeing a lot of players picking heroes later in the game when they were in close quarters, and so that element of strategy too is stronger when you have actual choice. Like you can say, you know, I'll save money because I'm about to do this final push, and it would be great to have a hero because then I'll just power through it.
Right.
And I think
Darth
that's
Maul
really strong.
really did power through it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
that was interesting.
Yeah,
That's how
first we saw
overpowered he was.
Rey, and I believe she died pretty soon.
Yeah, not last too long. Han Solo went in shooting blindly, and Darth Maul just tore through him as well.
I think it was all dependent on who was playing.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. But Darth Maul's mobility was
yeah.
Just barrel rolls. I mean,
And it makes sense
it's
for
funny.
him.
And
It wasn't.
Remember, in the last game it was Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
Barrel rolls. Granted, that's what he basically does that in Revenge of the Sith. But Darth Maul was a gymnast at heart. Like it was very cool to see him just do those moves. That was great when it opens up. I think maybe that was a trailer where it's just like a boomerang of his lightsaber going through like 8 clone troopers.
Right.
So that's cool. Yeah, I think that new system is better than what was present before.
Rob, as someone who likes aerial combat and like Battlefield and the first Battlefront, you wanted it. Does dogfighting seem like it's up to par?
I don't know.
It was tough to show.
They showed within the first 5 minutes 2 people crashing into each other and one crashing into a building, which is...
There's a lot of crashing, yeah.
So in the first game, you can lock on, you hold left trigger and you can lock on your lasers. Granted, if you had the crosshair centered somewhat close to their ship. I have to, you have to play it to actually understand it.
You are playing this later today, right?
That's correct. Yes. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. We'll have gameplay and impressions definitely soon. I guess the other thing that was nice is that when I was playing this game, more often than not, is you fall into that lone wolf problem of just like I'm just gonna spawn, even though there's a partner system in the previous Battlefront. You just spawn and then you kind of do your own thing. So I mentioned this in the pre-show too, is that you now have groups of 4, and now you have 4 different classes. One can be an officer, which is more of your overall support who drops. Looked like the Imperial officer had clone officer had like turrets and would provide health for his team. And then upon joining a 4-person group, you can expect your battle points, your experience in the game to increase. So it's reinforcing the idea of team play. I think that's super important.
Yeah, and this mode itself, the first game had Walker Assault, but there were only so many ways you could actually take down the AT-ATs or AT-ATs or whatever you want to call them. In this, it seems like they were telling by the little tutorial options, it showed them getting into a starfighter, and it was saying you could do damage to the transport with this, and then when they got into a vehicle, you could do damage to it with this, and then presumably with those upgrades that you mentioned. It seems like there's a little more flexibility in the options you have this time around.
Yeah, and I think the Walker Assault from the previous game was just frustrating in general, where it was like, oh, the only way you can bring these walkers down is if you focus on uplinks. Like, I think that idea, in order to bring Y-Wings in, right, to stun it, I think you want to keep that fairly simple. And, again, I think just reinforce, like, teamwork, just, like, with your squad. Because who wants to go to an uplink? I want to get in there, I want to shoot things. I mean, I don't know. We still have much to learn about all these different modes.
Yeah, so we didn't see much of single player today.
I really wanted to see that.
In the trailer. I'm sure we'll see that in the coming months, maybe another trailer of some sort before November, although I'd be fine if they didn't reveal too much more about it. I'm already pretty excited about it. We didn't get to see too much of the progression, right, between matches. Or at least I would like to see more of it and see how those RPG mechanics or RPG light mechanics might factor into your overall profile, because I think that was one thing the first game was lacking. You saw Titanfall 2 really improve upon the burn cards from the first game by adding that progression that kind of, like a la Call of Duty 4, they introduced it and now every shooter uses it, but I think for a good reason, right? It would keep me invested in this game longer than just the spectacle and the actual gameplay of it might.
Right.
But I'm curious, so like Callie, you said you had seen examples of it a couple months ago. EA showed you.
Yeah, I mean, not even seen. They just basically spoke about it.
Okay.
When I was at Star Wars Celebration. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, there's gonna be progressions. So, your character customizations will transfer from, era to era. So like if you're playing this droid trooper versus a different era of Star Wars, like your trooper character or progression will carry over. But I don't know the details of that, and I'm curious to see how exactly that works. And obviously, we didn't see any of that. This was more of an individual match and seeing how it progresses. So I am curious because that is important for me to like want to keep coming back to a shooter post Call of Duty 4, like you said.
Sure. Yeah, and one thing that's worth mentioning is that the DLC post-release will all be free.
Yeah, that was really big. It was. It felt like they'd heard the cries of many people.
Mhm.
And we're like, okay, DLC's free now.
Yeah, it's weird to keep talking about Titanfall so much, but same thing with Titanfall, right? Titanfall 1, the problem they had was that it fell off kind of quickly, the player population, because of the burn cards didn't lend much to like the longevity of the game. You know, it released on one console as opposed to, you know, 2, which came out on PS4, but that's a separate thing that they tackled. But
I played it on 360 quite a bit.
Yeah.
Titanfall?
Oh, Titanfall, right. Yeah, because there was like a huge community on there compared to Xbox One, right?
Good port, yeah.
And it's interesting to see how they are kind of tackling that problem with this game, because I know the numbers on Battlefront weren't like dismal at all, but they weren't always great, you know, like post-launch week.
I think it, you know, again, you mentioned Titanfall 2. The model that I think best suits anything is, yes, you make the maps free, make most, you know, the core weapons, and just, you know, cosmetics, right? Like, I feel like that's been almost the standard lately. It's just like if you want to, like, you know, get microtransactions out of anywhere, it's just like let it be cosmetics.
Yeah.
Or of course, you know, you should still have some sort of system, currency in game to progress with. But yeah, you got to keep the maps open, I think.
Yeah. So overall, it was a pretty interesting demo, I would say. I liked what I saw in Theed. I like the siege mode. This seems interesting. It seems kind of like Operations in Battlefield 1, more kind of like objective-focused gameplay that, you know, we saw. But between Battlefront 2, Battlefield 1 DLC, Need for Speed Payback, all the EA Sports games, and A Way Out, are you guys pretty impressed? Callie, what do you think of this press conference overall? Do you think it was a good start to the week? Do you think it was good for EA?
I mean, it was a fine start. It was nothing that really shocked me. I mean, I did like seeing a little taste of the BioWare IP, even though I wasn't particularly impressed by it. I liked that they showed that. But obviously, the sports games are going to be staples. So it was pretty like what I was expecting. But I did like, I think Battlefront obviously is the strongest thing to end on, and seeing multiplayer was what I really wanted. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we got to ramp up into the week. Yeah. Not like that wasn't a big blowout thing or anything like that.
Robert, by you, takeaways.
I think A Way Out was the most impressive thing of the conference.
Seems like the most novel thing.
Yeah,
out today.
it seemed really interesting. Like, as far as Battlefront, as much as I am excited for that game and I really am looking forward to playing it, it still looked like Battlefront.
Yeah.
You know, like the systems of the you know, replacing those tokens on the ground. I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, you gotta see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, I think A Way Out was by and large the most impressive thing.
Yeah. Pete Brown, what about you?
If we're going to talk about the conference itself, it was a little distracting that every game had about half of its attention focused on these game changers, as it were.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the games, most importantly, please.
It was kind of poorly paced conference overall, I think. I personally would have rather the sports games be grouped together, because if that's what I want to see, that's what I want to see. Yeah. If I don't want to see it, they're kind of peppered throughout. Although, like I said, I'm pretty interested in those story modes that FIFA 18 is continuing, and NBA Live is
They could be good. Like NBA Live actually has me very interested. I think that the intricate controls were presented in sort of an odd way, because there was this like staccato like way of like letting him play and then stopping, and then letting him play and then stopping. I'd like to see how that actually plays out in real time.
Sure.
But as someone who used to love playing basketball as a kid, you know, the idea of rising through the ranks, but also being able to like play on the streets and do that sort of stuff, quote unquote, you know, is it seems all right.
Sure.
But I'm with Rob. I think A Way Out is definitely the most interesting thing that we've seen so far out of EA.
Yeah, looking at that conference alone, I'm pretty excited for A Way Out. BioWare did pique my interest. I know it was just a teaser, and I am, like Callie, you had said, and Pete, you had agreed that world, that post-apocalyptic / sci-fi Destiny kind of thing, feels a little played out at this point, but I am curious. I think it's during Microsoft tomorrow. They're going to show much more, but I am curious to see how BioWare specifically tackles that. Like we had mentioned before, BioWare is such a story-centric, like classic RPG developer. So I'm curious to see how they're actually going to go about taking this Destiny Division genre and making it their own. We will see more of that tomorrow, so I'm kind of curious about that. It was like a 45-second teaser today.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, E3 has started, and of course we will be covering it here from GameSpot's editorial stage, as well as our co-op stage downstairs. We have a lot of partners coming in throughout the week. We have Kind of Funny, we have Funhouse, we have Cam and Seb. They'll be coming to hang out with Chessie Vicencio, who is going to be hosting downstairs stage. We have the lobby on Wednesday. If our weekly live show, we'll be doing it here for a live audience, which will be really fun. It'll be us four, actually. Yeah. But we will have Lucy James will be hosting a ton of stuff from up here. We will have, tomorrow will be Microsoft press conference and Bethesda, which will be late at night, and then followed by Sony and Nintendo. And who am I missing? Ubisoft later in the week. And then we'll, of course, all week have our demo stage up. Right now, if you want to keep watching EA play and some of the games that we saw today at the conference, we're going to switch over to them. I believe they're playing Madden NFL 18 right now. But for now, that is all from the GameSpot stage. We'll see you tomorrow for Microsoft. Thanks for joining us.
Not bad. This actually not bad. All right.
Yeah, it was him and Dan Marino there the same day. You've got an NFL Hall of Famer who wants to be a part of this, and you got an Oscar winner who want to be a part of this. And that just speaks volumes to how it plays on both sides of the fence.
That was the first day of shooting, so I was so nervous walking into there. Like, it's so limited with time when you're shooting these things. And so you have a half a day with Mahershala Ali with kids, so kids make it so much more complicated because they're just having fun, and there's a football on set, and they're trying to break the lights. But
classic kids, just talking smack like they do.
If it was going to blow up, it was going to blow up on day one. Yeah. The most expensive day.
Well, I'm glad it didn't. Okay, that's fantastic. But you know, it's for you, Scott. You know, obviously Friday Night Lights. That's where people will see you and recognize you from numerous other things as well. Right. But what was the experience? How does it compare to what you did on Friday Night Lights to what you did with Long Shot?
You know, I've never worked on a project that had as many parallels for me to Friday Night Lights. I've worked on a bunch of other stuff, but nothing had that kind of grounded, small, conversational storytelling that Friday Night Lights had throughout the rest of my career, and so kind of until Long Shot. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, there was so much collaboration, and when I was on Friday Night Lights, I felt like I had ownership of that show because they empowered us to do this. And JR said this earlier, but while doing Long Shot, we also felt very empowered to be a part of the storytelling. We weren't just puppets for words that somebody was very precious with on the page. Mike had brilliant ideas and lovely dialogue, but then also was malleable and wanted to we all wanted the same thing, which is to have the greatest story. And that's what we did on Friday Night Lights. I always say it's tough to catch lightning in a bottle twice, but I think that we might have done it with this. I've already done it with Friday Night Lights. And at the heart of Friday Night Lights, it's about interpersonal relationships, about friendships. Like with Jason Street and Riggins, their tragedy changes their relationship. The same thing happens with Devin and with Colt. Tragedy really kind of changes and adjusts their relationship, and it's how they rebound from it that is the beauty of this story, and it's how they overcome. And adversity is used way too much in sports, but when you find out what they both go through, it's true adversity. It's not losing a game, it's losing a part of your life, and how they join together and forge their friendship going forward and push each other to try and achieve the biggest accomplishment they ever could heading towards the NFL draft. It's just a wonderful, beautiful story, and storytelling's where it's at. Just like Friday Night Lights, Long Shot does the same thing.
And I think that's, you asked the question about how it's relatable. I think that's what it is. It's not just a story about football. It's a story that all of us has been through in some capacity.
Yeah.
Trying to overcome with people that we love. And trying to, jump over obstacles.
It's the human story, right? I mean, it's something that we all go through. We're all trying to accomplish different things, accomplish different goals. How do we get there? The ebb and flow of all that. And I mean, that's what I'm taking from what you're saying. But both of you guys.
Are we willing, when we're most down, are we willing to look in the mirror and face that and do something about it? Essentially. I mean, in the trailer, you have that moment where Devin's, walking towards the window, looking at Lucas Oil. Are we gonna be strong enough to actually get up off the couch, look in the mirror, and take action?
Now, be honest, JR. When you're watching yourself in that scene, are you looking at Lucas Oil? Or are you just looking at your reflection in the hotel window? I know what you're looking at, JR. I know what
you see what I'm dealing with.
So right, man. He shows us every time he plays.
I'm dealing with every day.
That's fantastic. I mean, I got to know, have you guys ever played a game of Madden against each other on the sticks?
No, he doesn't want to get on. He doesn't.
Because here's the thing.
He doesn't want to get on against me. He doesn't want it.
I haven't picked up the sticks in a while, yeah.
Here's what I've heard. This guy really only took the role just so he could get free MUT packs.
Yo, this is true. This is 100% true. I went to high school with one of the producers on Madden, and I've been hitting him up for years like, hey, can I get some? Hey, can I get some coin? Can I get some coin, in-game coin here? He's like, my hands are tied, man. My hands are tied. I'm like, I know they're not, but now you got no excuse.
No excuse.
I know a guy.
Somebody shows up with a full-on
guy.
team overall rating of 99. You're gonna be like, oh, that guy.
He's even
That's
gonna have
Porter.
a card.
He got 28 billion credits and has all rubies.
You just heard that right there from Mike Young. He's gonna have his own MUT card. That's gonna be fantastic.
Oh, I get my own MUT card?
Yeah.
Wait, Cole Cruz is gonna be a Madden on the team? What? Be ready to play with the Cruise missile, baby.
All right, now
it's coming.
Guys, it's time to bring in the game changers.
Awesome.
It's time to bring in our YouTubers. We have Onto the Boss and we have iMavic. They're going to ask the tough questions. I just gave the layups. I just gave you the easy ones. Okay. These guys are going to ask the tough ones.
All right.
So let's bring them in. Onto, iMav, come on in, guys.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
How you doing?
How are you? Good to see you. Gibbs.
Gentlemen.
What's up, bro? Good to see you. What a time to be alive.
All right, we have a nice wide set here. We could basically start our own team right here almost, right? But, all right. Onto, Mav, take it away.
Well, I saw the trailer. I noticed a lot of familiar faces, and I wanted to ask Mike, what other stars did you work with when creating Longshot?
Well, we mentioned earlier Mahershala Ali. That was pretty insane. It was before he won the Academy Award. What was cool about the role at the time is I think we were mostly familiar with him being this like tough military guy and things like Hunger Games or a tough character in like House of Cards, but we got to bring him in and he's playing this father, and I think everyone on set that day was like, I wish he was my dad. He was so warm with the children, and it was a way up until obviously Moonlight he plays a father figure, but we hadn't seen that yet. So it felt like, wow, we're seeing a different side of him, and it was so amazing. We had the Dan Marinos, the Chad Ochocinco's.
Wow.
Those days were super fun. Everybody was geeked out.
Chad Johnson took everyone to sushi at the end of the day. He
Wow.
was like, who wants to go with me to get sushi? We're like, what? There's a 40-person crew
awesome.
standing around. We're like, what, all of us? He's like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, he had a blast.
That was pretty cool. I mean, we had film legend Barry Corbin. I mean, there's just
that was a good moment.
so many people and so many stories from set. It was incredible. I think people will love the cast because it feels grand. I think a lot of the gaming stories feel small, like not very many characters, not many sets, but I think this is an epic story with an epic amount of places you see, epic amount of cast, all just so much variety to it. Women, children, 80-year-olds, 8-year-olds, so it was really cool.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
Nice.
Nav, your turn.
So I guess my question would probably be for the stars here, all right?
Oh, that's easy.
Step up.
So I know it was a 4-year process, right? Putting together Longshot. What would you say was the biggest challenge for you guys?
Oh, man.
Tough ones.
Waiting.
Making them think,
Waiting. To get a phone call from Mike 4 years ago, say, hey, we want to make this game in Madden, and we'd love for you to be a part of it, and then not hearing another word from anyone for like 9 months, and I'm just like,
Right?
did he change his number? I get a text back, it's like, sorry, new phone, who this? I'm just like, am I still a part of this thing anymore? And then 2 years ago, we end up in Vancouver for just a week, just JR and I, and I walk in and I'm like, they've already got all this footage of other people playing our roles, like stunt guys and stuff. They had done like some test footage. I'm like, I got recast again?
Right.
And then I couldn't make it down to Orlando. I was shooting something in New York, and then there's a table read in Orlando, and some guy texts me, because I went to high school and college in Orlando, and I knew this cat. He texts me, he's like, yo, I'm at this table read, and I was like, they cast me again! They recast me again! It was just like the waiting, I'd say, was like my biggest problem, was like, because it takes even double the time of a movie or a TV show. Like sometimes you'll shoot a movie or a show and next year it's coming out. But with the game, the cycle to build this thing from the ground up takes so long. And it was just shifting my brain that way.
I mean, sorry. But yeah, Scott mentioned the 4 years ago. He was the first person to verbally commit to this thing, which was great because I got to make the script him. Think about his specific talents, his personality, and really custom the role for Scott, and having somebody like Scott commit early was definitely a lot of confidence that this thing could be real, and people were excited by it. And then we went on the long journey of trying to get it greenlit and all that.
Okay.
Oh man.
So mine isn't as deep at all. My biggest hurdle was getting over this doggone camera that you have in your face. Right? Like, so we were having arguments. and like we forget this camera's there, and we just like clashing the camera. And every time it clacks, like we got to start over.
Yeah.
And, like,
Every time you got to start over, you got to do.
Yeah, you got to do the T-pose and.
Okay.
That was my biggest one.
Okay.
Just like the. Have you ever seen like the motion capture shoot where they
I
have
have.
the thing and the dots all over your
Yeah,
face?
yeah.
You can't put your hand in front of your face. You might want to wipe your nose. Can't wipe your nose.
Can't wipe your nose.
So it's more
Might have a
takes
little
than you're used
scratch.
to doing.
Yeah,
Like
if you want
film.
your character to rub his eye in the scene, you got to do this.
Yeah, you're like.
You got to like reach, but not actually touch your face.
Exactly.
It's like so strange.
So that was one of mine.
Yeah, we got really close because we spent in effect 6 weeks together in wetsuits with each other.
For real.
It was just me and him
Hey,
in wetsuits.
it was some man
Bunch of
moments.
shiny balls all over ourselves in
Right.
face makeup that looked like we were a Cats reject.
Tight, yeah.
Yeah.
That made it fun. Way more challenging. What's amazing about the cast is that they're in the same white wall room every day with these suits. They don't have costumes. They don't have props. It's all in their mind. And these performances are so believable and natural. And I'm just so proud of what these guys did. And I think with those cameras and how unnatural it is to have 40 people staring at you and then these weird outfits and all these rules on addition to just being present in the acting, I'm just blown away by them.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
I think we all just had a moment. I feel like we're all becoming friends, like closer.
Without
I'm
the
excited
suit,
about it.
yeah.
Hug this one out.
Without the suit.
If we can hug it out, we'll hug it out. But
It's the same emotion you'll find in Long Shot.
Hey.
I got a question for you guys though. Are you excited about Long Shot?
I am excited.
I am.
It's like the first
Definitely.
time we've seen something like this, so I think a lot of fans are going to be excited as well to play it.
Nice.
Right, yeah, it's a new experience to Madden. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to reach a whole new audience, bring a lot of new people in, and hopefully that carries over to the other modes as well.
You know, the crazy thing is about that is a lot of guys like you YouTubers and that create content online, you guys would like making your own story mode, right? But now you got one.
Now we got it.
you got one, right?
Now we
And
got
so
it.
Now you actually have a true, authentic story.
Exactly.
A lot goes to these guys. There's a lot of guys behind the scenes that you got to give a shout out to as well. But overall great experience. I got two things for you though. He's got
I
one.
do have one thing to say. I just got one thing to say, and it's important for everybody out there. When you see this and you know that Devin is a character that you're going to play, not everybody's Devin is going to be the same. And it's important that we get the point across. Everybody's going to be able to play Devin differently. There's branching dialogue. There's different choices. The outcome of this game, you think everybody's going to get drafted? That ain't the case, man.
Not necessarily.
That ain't the case. So everybody's going to have a different path with Devin. It's not just, oh, I got to play as Devin and Colt. No. You play Devin how you want to play Devin. You play Colt how you want to play. That's it. So you still have all of that opportunity to make your own choices.
Right.
It's fantastic stuff, guys. I appreciate all of you for Scott, Mav, Mike, JR, Anto. I appreciate it. I got one request, and you're going to have to help me make it happen.
All right.
We have to find the behind the scenes of them smacking into each other with the drink.
absolutely.
We got to get them in the wetsuits. I got to see it because we're going to put all that online. I mean, we're going to find a way to do it. We're going to find a way.
Expose them.
We'll make sure you look good. Don't you worry. Yeah, let's get one. Let's get one.
do this.
Another one here for the fans. Get in. Oh.
All right.
That's right. Yeah. He's on video.
Oh, yeah.
Man, for a guy
First
who's never
timer.
seeing himself in pictures, he takes a while.
There we go. Nice.
All right, guys, that is going to do it for Long Shot Madden NFL 18, a story mode you can play. And right now, we're going to kick it over to the other football game, little football. Send it.
Football.
Football.
There's no I in it, I bring in all my team. Who'd you wanna holler, who'd you wanna never know? Don't be a sheep when you can be the GOAT. Greatest of all time and you never know. Don't show up to my show if you've got no. Yeah. Loud at you, he's a hater, I don't want no bad energy. Man get views but I rage hard cause I can't see my enemy. I like all types of girls, melanins and melanies. She wants a man from London, she wants a fella with felonies. That's probably all my team. There's no I in it, I bringing all my team. That's when they saw my team. Even the bouncers bounce when they saw my team. Who do you wanna holler, who do you wanna never know? Don't be a sheep when you can be the GOAT. Greatest of all time and you never know. Don't show up to my show if you've got no energy.
That is right. We are going from football to football. It's the hottest game known worldwide.
Absolutely.
FIFA, and it's back. It's bigger than ever. FIFA 18. I am here with Sam and Matt, the creative director and the lead gameplay designer, talking about a brand new FIFA, guys. Now, last year, FIFA 17 blew the world away. How are you guys doing up in Vancouver, knowing that you have to top that and make it even bigger and better this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's always what drives us, right? We always want to bring the best game to market, and yeah, last year was a massive year on many levels. It was the transition to the Frostbite engine, which was huge. It sold over 21 million copies, so a record year across the board.
Not bad.
Not bad.
21
not bad.
mil, you know.
And then obviously one of the bigger things was the introduction of the Journey and Alex Hunter, who in just 1 year has become one of the most famous names in all of football. So an incredible year all round.
I mean, we had the Men in Blazers on stage.
We did.
So hyped about Alex Hunter. What's he up to? What's he doing? But it's not just about Alex Hunter, obviously. I mean, when you guys announced the cover star for FIFA 18, everybody was like, whoa, that looks way better than that statue that was at that airport. That looks actually like Cristiano Ronaldo. But bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo, what is that experience just to kickstarting that experience and making it happen? How did that feel once it all culminated into what it became in FIFA 18?
Jose, well, first of all, it was an awesome experience working with the best football player in the world. We went to Madrid a few months ago to motion capture Ronaldo, and we're putting his animations in the game. So he's basically helping us create what it is the biggest leap in the history of gameplay. So that's quite important for us, special attention in gameplay this year. So there's so many new features that I want to tell you about gameplay. There's 4 pillars: the player, the teams, the atmospheres, and the dramatic moments. And let me start with the player. First of all, we have a brand new animation engine. It's called the Real Player Motion Technology. It's a system that allows us to pick animations every single frame. In the past, we used to do every step the player takes. That's an animation, and then we would just chain different animations, different steps. Now, because it's every single frame, for the human eye, just looks like one fluid motion. The movement of the players is very fluid. And this engine also gives us responsiveness, fluidity, and personality. So you will see how the entire feature set is about those 3 things: responsiveness, fluidity, and personality. For personality, as I mentioned, we're putting Ronaldo animations in the game, and now if you look at him, he runs exactly like Ronaldo. From any camera, you will recognize him right away. We also have the tools that allows us to personalize the movement of players, like Sterling, you saw in the video, how his hands are a little bit...
Sterling with a goal!
Oh yeah, Sterling, his hands like that. Robin, the hands more like in this position. Jordi Alba, the chest up. You will see all those characteristics in the game, and we have also 6 new archetypes for more personality for every single player in the game. So before, all the players would share the same animations for running. Now there is the short, medium, and tall player with the skinny and stocky options. So everybody is going to have more personality in the way they move. Then there is the dribbling overhaul. This is my favorite. Dribbling is so much fun, so responsive. And you will see a lot of personality. So you will see the players avoiding doing all those fancy things with dribbling, just with the left stick, just by jogging, for example. And if you pass the ball to somebody like Messi, he's going to be so explosive. You're going to see how he stretches to get to the ball. He leans. It's looks very cool. The visuals are very improved from previous years. And also, if you pass the ball to somebody like Iniesta, he's going to be so good at hiding the ball, but he's not that explosive. So you need the combination of things. And there's also features for the team. There's a brand new positioning system that allows players to coordinate between each other to provide different types of support all the time. There's always going to be somebody doing safe support, so you can keep possession with a safe pass. There's going to be people doing diagonal runs, trying to unmark themselves, attacking runs, and they're going to be playing closer to the sidelines, so wider, in order to create better spaces. And you can now read football like professionals do in real life all the time, trying to read the situation. You can do now that in FIFA. So we also have a lot of play styles. For example, when you play career mode, you will have a different experience, so team personality, depending on what playstyle they do in real life. So for example, we have the tiki-taka, a lot of first-time passes, long balls. If you have players that are very good at dribbling, you will see them trying to beat on defenders, different options. And also for the defensive side, there's quite options like catenaccio, harass, there's many of them. Then there is the next part, which is the dramatic moments. We are changing our crossing mechanics, so now crosses are more dangerous, more driven, and the actual controls also change a little bit as well. We are improving our through balls, the shooting system, now that the trajectories are closer to the goal to give you more realistic outcomes, but doesn't mean every single shot is going to the net. And finally, we have the atmospheres, which is very important as well. And there's regionalization, so basically depending on where you're playing in the world, you're going to have a different experience. The lighting is different, the position of the sun is very authentic, so you have the same experience as you get in real TV. There's a lot of props around the field, like even cars or commercial things, banners, flags, like in South America, for example. And there's a lot of work on the crowds. There's a lot of new chants, so you have a better audio experience, as well as the crowds now behave individually, so you will see them reacting very different than before. When there's a goal, for example, they will try to jump a couple of rows down, and you can actually celebrate with the crowd. You can hug them. You can do many different things. The gameplay is very, very fun this year.
There's a lot.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so you guys didn't really do much, right? It's not very good.
We put our feet up for a year, so.
Yeah. But I mean, when, channeling all of that newness within a game like FIFA, especially when people have grown to expect it to play a certain way, do you guys ever, is it a challenge for you guys to make it new, but still make it seem like the players who are good at FIFA can jump in and know exactly what they're doing and notice the differences that you guys make?
For sure, it's always a challenge. The game has to be very deep. So people that are new to FIFA, that's true. People that are new to FIFA, they need to be able to play it easily, and then people that are very experienced, there needs to be a lot of depth in the mechanics. But we think that fluidity is the key this year to be able to have the entertaining game for everybody that tries to join the game.
Nice. And I also understand we have a clip, a little gameplay trailer that we saw inside that we're going to take a look at right now. Show that beautiful footage.
Loud at you, he's a hater, I don't want no bad energy. Man get views, but I rage hard cause I can't see my enemy. I like all types of girls, melanins and melanies. She wants a man from London, she wants a fella with felonies. That's when they all my team, there's no I in it, I bring in all my team. That's when they saw my team, even the bouncers bounce when they saw my team. Who do you wanna holler, who do you wanna never know? Don't be a sheep when you can be the GOAT. Greatest of all time and you never know. Don't show up to my show if you got no
PS4 for the players.
Obviously,
come on.
I want that in my life. And obviously, introducing The Journey last year, we talked about it earlier. Alex Hunter, the most tweeted about footballer in the history of the world. He scored like 32 million goals last season. 36 million, sorry, Alex Hunter.
360 million, I think, actually.
You know what?
Come on, don't undervalue it.
He scored over 1 million goals. There's no need to talk about how many over hundreds of millions of goals. And now we see a new iteration.
Absolutely,
the journey's continuing.
He's back for his second year, so it's one of those modes where we can't really divulge too much because we don't want to give it away. But no, we can't.
Those guys aren't listening. They're deep into the pitch right now.
We're bringing him back. It's bigger and better. We're taking him to a wider world of football. So obviously within FIFA the game, we have a global appeal with football. We represent the sport globally. For the Journey 1, he was a lad from London, so we said it in the EPL. That was his breakout year. So again, without divulging too much, he's going to spread his wings a little bit. So there's some surprises in store for Alex, and he's going to kind of spread his wings around the global world of football. So possibly not locked to England this time. So lots going on in his life. It's a tumultuous year for the young lad.
Well, if you weren't one of the 21 million players who played FIFA 17, break it down a little bit about what the journey was when you guys kicked it off last year, and how you would like to see it go from here on out.
Yeah, so the journey was a cinematic mode, which we were able to do through the power of Frostbite. So it's one of the benefits of the Frostbite transition. And what it allowed us is to really kind of give a window into the world of football that we've never had before. So we've always done a great job of focusing on the 90 minutes on the pitch. We've never kind of gone behind the curtain and taken off the pitch. And in this modern world, that's something that people have an interest in. You know, with Twitter, you can kind of have a window into the lives of footballers like never before. So we wanted to really bring that kind of what makes the footballer tick, what's his, you know, family, background, all that kind of stuff. And obviously it resonated spectacularly with the, you know, over 13 million people played it. A whole bunch of those completed it through to the end and replayed it in many cases. So it really offered us up an opportunity to show a side of football that we'd never done before in FIFA. And in terms of where we want to take it, obviously year one was his breakout year. Year two, he's now a bit of an established star. What he won was entirely up to the users, so you could have won the FA Cup, you could have won the EPL, you could have even got relegated. That was one of the beauties of it. It wasn't on rails, there was a lot of choice, and basically his career was in your hands. So we pick up from where we left off. So if you played Journey 1, you will start on the team you were in. He will have the personality you created through the cinematic moments, and then we'll kind of kick it off. And I will give you a little bit of an insight. We start with him on holiday in Rio, connecting with some of the locals, which you can probably imagine how he connects with locals in Rio.
Rough life. Yeah. You know, rough life. So, you know, when creating that story and cultivating all this, how do you go about creating this lore for a character who's going to be going on this journey that you're taking him on, but make it resonate with people who might have been a professional football player, or if they just wonder what that life is like?
Yeah, well, one of the other challenges is making it resonate with people around the globe, because it was set in England, so it's important that the story is fundamentally about football, and it resonates with a football fan. So even if I'm from South America, I can connect with this story on a footballing level. And then the other part of that is just making it an interesting character, just fleshing out the character, giving him an interesting background, interesting support system, so the family, they're all back, so good old Grandad, everyone loved Grandad, he's back this second time round, Mum is back. So just creating not just an interesting character whom you control, but the support system and the characters around him is key, that they resonate with users and are interesting as well, and that obviously happens.
And what do you think was the most crucial sort of piece of feedback you received from people who did complete this journey, or just from fans in general? Was there any sort of comments that they made that you were like, oh yeah, we should sort of go in this route or maybe try something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great relationship with our fans, and we value their feedback because they're the most important guys. They're the ones that play it. So the good news is they loved it. They really resonated with the fact that they controlled his personality. You know, like I say, it wasn't on rails. One of the things we did take from the feedback was they wanted more big, major decisions in his life, some key decisions that will change Alex and those around him. So keep an eye out for those, some big decisions that you have to make as Alex that will affect the story and the characters and etc. etc. Again, it's one of those hard things to talk to because I don't want to spoil it. But there's a lot of good stuff in there.
I'm thinking like downloadable DLC, a villain character comes into his life. That villain is played by me.
Right. Okay.
Mocapped in Ronaldo suit, so I run like Ronaldo. I'm ripped like Ronaldo, and it could just create some tension.
We'll put that on the ideas board.
I mean, if there is an ideas board, I'd like that to go right to the top.
Well, I was thinking more of the bottom board.
Obviously, a lot of people are excited about the journey. We do have a trailer explaining what's going down in the second part of this journey coming in FIFA 18.
There is one question on everybody's lips.
What next for Hunter?
Everyone's hunting Hunter.
Alex Hunter has been talked about.
I think all this Alex Hunter talk, I think that's just paper talk, if I'm honest.
Sehen wir Alex Hunter bald in der Bundesliga?
Seine Spielweise ist atemberaubend.
Alex Hunter is a proper talent, a huge talent. He needs the right club and the right manager. Any club will be lucky to have him.
Alex Hunter is in the media every day and it's getting annoying, to be fair.
Oh, it's so irritating. What kind of club would let Alex Hunter go?
I'm not really sure that a move is the right thing for him.
J'espère qu'il va venir. But this guy's getting too big for his boots, blood.
Alexander is a great player. He's a beast. He actually is.
He's very quick.
He's got skills.
Amazing skills.
Hunter è un attaccante fenomenale.
Hopefully he's got good people around him.
Hunter's bombed his bridge and he has to look after himself. Go!
I would move.
Rumours have got to stop. Go, Alex.
Alex Hunter, you really are wasting time.
Will Alex Hunter stay or go?
Are you sure this is what
risky. Not about this tour of the US coming on.
What does your heart tell you?
If I stay, it will be double. So you gotta should I stay or should I go?
PS4 for the players.
All right, everyone. So we've been talking so much about some fantastic EA games here at EA Play 2017. But you want to know what's really fantastic? Some Battlefield, baby. That's right. We're going to have some Battlefield 1 action. I'm Golden Boy, joined by Andrew Galata, one of the guys working on this incredible game, as well as my homeboy, my partner in crime when it comes to these events. Wes C, how you doing, man?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Fantastic. I can't wait. I mean, we're going to see some awesome stuff with Battlefield 1. Yep. In fact, you know what, Andrew? Let's just jump into it. What are we going to see today?
Well, today we're going to take a look at Nivelle Nights. This is a first night map for Battlefield 1.
Okay. Night map.
Yep.
Now, what are some of the challenges with the night maps in particular that you found when you were making the game? Like when you were making, these maps?
Well, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is lighting, right? You don't want to be in complete darkness where you can't see your opponent. You want to be able to view your opponent and get a good shot off. So it's really finding that fine balance there, really getting in, making sure that you can be strategic. So we wanted to be able to make sure that you could also find dark corners, hide a little bit, get where you needed to go.
Sounds like my play style.
Oh, yeah.
Just hide in a corner. And
hide in a corner, just snipe, right? That's what you're doing?
No, I just wait with a shovel. And then
you're the
come back,
shovel guy. Yeah,
whack him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
That's how I roll, Wesley. What about you? How do you play?
Well, I'm trying to stick to assault. I'm more of an infantry player, so that close quarter setting, which we'll see in a minute, is definitely something that you can focus on this new map. Having played it in the testing environment, you're going to see some good close quarters gameplay.
Yeah,
today.
the trenches play really well here.
Yeah, they do play really well, and there's some interesting differences between the two trenches that I think we'll talk about later on in the stream.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to share it.
So many details put into this map.
People had a chance to play this before in the test server.
Yep.
Was it as detailed as it is here, or are people going to see some new things that they haven't seen before if they played in the server?
Yeah, so on our CTE, the community test environment, it was in its kind of pre-alpha phase. So you're going to see a lot more details. It's really refined, making sure the artwork is as polished as possible, the gameplay is as polished as possible. So you might find a few little areas for cover that you probably didn't have on the CTE.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. And, it's very exciting because I think when a lot of people thought about World War I, and it's exciting for some, and for others it's also concerning, which you'll see in a little bit. They have nothing to be concerned about because everyone thought, oh, World War I, trench warfare.
Right.
That must be so boring. And obviously you guys didn't do that when the game first came out. But now you are bringing it to the trenches.
Right.
What were some of the challenges in making that combat feel exciting?
Well, when you think of World War I trench warfare, it's one trench on one side, one trench on the other, and you wait, right? Who's going to storm the other? And then the guys who get up into the open, they're the ones that die first. But the way we went about it is we wanted to create a no man's land in between both trench sets. So we put a lot of cover and a lot of interesting spaces where you can even have some really good combat outside of the trenches. But once you go in, the turns and the corners and all the little nooks and crannies, tons of fun happening.
All right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Nivelle Night here, and this again, this map looks incredible. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out here at EA Play, oh man, you're gonna be in for a treat here. Wesley, what do you have for me, buddy?
Just wanted to say straight up that you might have noticed we're playing the Conquest game mode, but both sets of teams have got 2 captured flags already. And then in the no man's land in the middle, that's where you've got 2 neutral, uncontested flags.
Yeah, that's something really unique to this. We wanted to make sure that the 2 flags that were in your point are the flags that you already own. We thought it'd be really weird if you had to capture the flags that were already in your trenches.
Okay, is that something that you guys are experimenting for this one, or is it something that we could potentially see in other maps as well?
Yeah, I think that you might be seeing some more of this in the near future.
Yeah, because it is a little weird, right? To like start the game off and you're like, okay, well we know what we're gonna get, right? So you might as well just get to the action quicker, by just giving those 2 spots there, and it also makes that encounter a bit more intense for C and D because you want to be able to push up
right in the middle.
The No Man's Land, as you guys had mentioned before. Okay, so taking a look. Oh my goodness, just got absolutely shredded on that one. Bange just did all the work on that.
I think we're on board with Stone Mountain here, and we're in the middle of No Man's Land, heading towards Dead Steel, and you might just be able to see over to the left as he goes over the hill here. You can see the massive shell of a Char-2C behemoth there, and that's been added in recently, I think.
Yeah, so what you're seeing now is the remains of a shelling, right? What happened in this time, this is based on Nivelle Offensive, where you had a shelling attack on the German front. And this is what we're seeing. This is the results, and you're fighting within the midst of that.
And they're doing their absolute best to be able to maintain control here of C, get Dead Steel locked down. I wonder what Stone's gonna, where he's gonna send his troops. Oh, they're looking to push forward. They're looking to push toward B.
Take B.
Okay, I like that. Stone Mountain, Unit 64 on the move, and he's gonna find someone in front of him. Nice kill there on Q. JB, take a seat. Loving that.
Well, it's interesting that he's decided to go for the B point rather than going for the other No Man's Land flag. So what he's essentially saying to his troops is, look, let's take their trench line and force the issue onto them. Because as we said, they were already captured for that team anyway, and they've decided to just go straight for it and take those flags instantly.
This is exciting because, you know, the players right now, you have to make a decision. I mean, if I'm this squad, I'm thinking, okay, well, we need to push. We have to get a little aggressive. We have to, do our absolute best here to kind of maintain our positions. And the German forces, they only have 2 flags at this moment. Meanwhile, on the other side, though, the French, they're dominating.
They are dominating at the moment. And actually, as we were watching Stone Mountain there going for some of the enemy trench lines, we ended up seeing that the 2 objectives that they'd run away from ended up getting taken by the enemy team. So the whole map sort of flipped itself on its head for a minute.
All right, and here's Miss on your screen here. Miss Ella Cronin. Not Missile, Miss Ella Cronin.
Oh, the tank, the tank.
Wait, is there a tank out right now?
Yeah, look, in front of them you can see the HUD icon there.
You also got a little activity in the trenches down there as well. That player knew that he was in a real bad spot, so he had to get out of dodge as soon as he possibly could. Then one of the things I do like about this with the trenches is, there is that, as you saw right there, Miss just threw the nade over. Who knows who that will hit, right? Like, you'll never know in the trenches.
Yep. Anybody be hiding behind those corners.
Boy, Muggs ended up getting picked off there.
The lighting's really interesting in the trenches here, actually, because you've got some points that are very well lit. It's just certain parts. And then you go into the straight, narrow trench, moving towards the next bit of light, but you've got almost nothing in between. So you're just seeing the outlines of players off in the distance.
Yeah, and what's left of the moonlight to kind of light those spaces.
Well, let's talk about the lighting, though, because there is a distinct difference between the French and German side when it comes to the lighting.
Yeah, so this is really an interesting part of the map. We took a lot of interest in creating differences between the sides. And the way we did that, what you'll see is there's quite a symmetry in this map. And the way we did that to change it up is kind of the lighting played a big role. So we made one side, the German side, you'll see a lot of electric lights. So you'll see searchlights, you'll see a lot of light bulbs, and that's going to be a good indicator that you're on the German side of the map. So that's actually quite true to history too. What we saw was the Germans buckled down, they fortified their trenches, and that's why they survived this attack. And then the French side is going to be a lot more organic. You got the fires, you got flames keeping it lit, and everything's kind of wood, and it's all very organic on that side.
Almost feels like it's a little bit more been made in a hurry. Like it was like we've got to make this now before the Germans make their push.
The French really didn't have a lot of time.
No.
Well, what we saw too is that the French kind of thought that the Nivelle offensive was going to be a big win. They did the shellings and they thought this is going to be it. So they weren't in it for the long haul, but they proved to be wrong.
Yeah. One of the things I really enjoyed about BF1 when it came out, and we're still seeing it today, is I feel like we have a new generation of history buffs who have emerged because of Battlefield 1. Like people who are genuinely into the history of World War I.
Yeah.
Because it is, it's the Great War, but there's so many stories to tell and things that people just don't really know about, which is makes it very, you know, I guess encapsulating, right? It makes you want to learn more. But you know, we're gonna check out some sniper gameplay here from my main man, Doom49. Don't let us down, buddy. Get those shots off. Yeah, he was able to get an enemy hit there, giving him 80 points. And he's just gonna continue to march down here toward E, getting ready for the Danzig trench. I'm looking for him to take off some faces here. It'll be pretty dope if he's able to do so. And they have 4 points right now, so they are marching down the battlefield. No pun intended. I'm sorry.
It's actually very interesting because if you look at oh, that was a nice shot there. That was lovely. But if you look at the points at the moment, he's going on a streak here.
Oh no! If he would have gotten that shot through the trees, I would have just put this headset down and walked away.
But yeah, if you look at, even though the teams are slightly imbalanced on their flags at the moment, the actual score between the two is very, very close.
Yeah.
And well, maybe it's just the fact that when this was all organised, they went, we're going to make this really even on both teams.
I know, right?
Oh, bit of bayonet charge there. It didn't pay off for him. I think he missed his target.
Gamer Snack with the pick off there. Paul, what are your thoughts? Sorry, Andrew.
No worries. Westy, I think to your point, I think that because this is a balanced map, it's very symmetrical. I think that that's what makes this a really easy map to kind of have those balanced gameplays.
Yeah, because I mean, looking at it, the structure of it, almost with the trench lines being very similar, you've almost got that feeling instantly anyway. You've got that...
Rage quit.
I'm out of here.
That's it, done.
You've got that feeling of it being very balanced from the start, and it's just dependent on whether your team can communicate properly, whether you use the squad leader function to make sure that you're covering your own objectives and then attacking like another single or maybe 2 objectives at once, and then that balance can remain. But if you decide to go too far forward and push too much and don't cover the flags that you currently own, then the enemy team can get in those trenches and it's very hard to get them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking to hold down here on B in the front line. It's a command center of such, so you got fortified buildings around you and good cover as well, and high ground advantage, as you can see. X Factor taking advantage of those opportunities when he sees fit. This guy, man, he is a fantastic Battlefield player and also a great YouTuber, as are all of these creators here. Great streamer as well. I happen to tune into his Twitch streams quite a bit. But Muggs manages to find him. But luckily for him, Ponyline was there on the pickup. He's not just a great pilot, he's a great medic as well.
That's what you're looking for in a medic, really. Yeah. You need somebody to come and revive your players.
That's the thing,
Keep
man.
That ticket count.
Playing a squad and my team, they always abandon me. Then again, I do tend to like run out all the way out
to
the middle
rogue.
of the field.
Yeah.
But it's like, follow me, get the hint, dog. Like, just come with me and we'll win the whole game.
You're that lone wolf kind of player.
Yeah, I'm the worst kind, to be fair. What I do typically, though, is I hop into a tank, and then I just drive around as much as I possibly can and destroy people. Speaking of that, how many tanks can you get on Neville Knight?
So there's 1 tank on each side.
Okay.
That's the plan here. We wanted to keep it pretty infantry focused. So once you start going too heavy, I mean, you're going to get some cavalry as well.
Okay.
So that's where you're going to get a little of that quick gameplay. But we wanted it to stay very infantry focused.
I think that's really good because obviously you've got these trench lines.
And that's for a reason, right?
You want the trench lines to be utilized.
Yes.
So if you gave them loads of vehicles, suddenly everyone's not using the trenches that you built.
Right.
And especially because you've built a lot of the objectives around the trench lines.
Yeah.
The only other 2 are the ones in no man's land in the middle.
Yeah, and that's why there's no planes in here as well, right? We don't want you having bombing runs on the trenches.
It really takes away from it.
That's
right?
no fun.
Yeah, exactly. You're in a trench. Like, what more can you do?
Yeah, you can vault out, but we all know how that goes.
Oh boy, here we go. Muggs looking to
He's looking to destroy some people.
He's a fantastic sniper, man. I watch his streams a lot, and he is such a great sniper. Oh, don't give the business! Don't
Had
give
to go
the
with
business.
the secondary, and he did not.
That's the commentator's curse, that is. We said he was so
I know.
good.
Yeah, you give them all the compliments, they never pull through.
Dude, it always happens that way. Always happens without
the revive. You got the revive. There it is.
I love it. There you go. March on down. X Factor. You're done.
This is one of the new weapons that's just been introduced as well, that you guys introduced in, was it the May or the spring update? I think you added a few new variants.
Yeah, we had some new variants that we introduced in the May update.
Yeah, so this is the
spring
Hellregal
update. Excuse me, I think it was the spring update.
This is the Hellregal Defensive, which has got an optical sight, 120 round drum magazine. Why you'd ever need that many bullets?
Well, if you really want to spray and pray, right?
And
it's also got the bipod as well. So I guess if you wanted to set it up behind cover and literally as the weapon.
Well, when you lay prone, you are going to be a little more accurate. Let's see it.
See if we can get. Look at the spread on the bullet too. You see the way that they're just really going in like a tight order, which is fantastic. Like that is certainly something you want to see if you hit that.
The grenade paid off. He took half health there.
Yeah, nice.
Now he's going to try and charge in here.
Oh, there it is. This is how it works. There we go.
The one and only Dankness 429. He hates that name, but I'm going to keep saying it every time he's on screen.
There you go. Pop some smoke. Get some cover.
Yeah.
It's interesting again here because we're on board with the. Who are we on board with here? We're on board with the French army, and they're taking back the flags that they had at the start of the round.
Right.
And as you can see up the top there from the flag layout, they are sort of fairly behind in terms of the flags they've got at the moment.
Well, it looks like they're rallying here.
But they're ahead on score, so the Germans need to pick up a little bit.
Looking around here, Darkness issuing those orders
Looks
when
like
he can.
He wants one.
Yeah.
There we go.
There it is.
So they're now going to capture their second objective within their own trench lines. Oh, lovely takedown there of X Factor.
Darkness, man, I'm telling you, we should change his name. He doesn't think so. And there's Miss Ella Cronin, who I mistakenly called Missile a little while ago, but she's flying through the trenches like a missile. Oh, there you go. That's what I do. You gotta bring it back somehow.
That worked. That worked.
One in front. Wow. A couple
Wasn't
shots.
even looking for that.
Nukem Dukem, man. Where's your awareness, dog?
On board with Doom 49.
The one and only. I think he's top fragging on his squad there, or on the whole team. As a matter of fact, I have to look at that yet again.
On the topic of lighting, Andrew, I want to ask you a question because Battlefield 1 has some dynamic weather in it.
That's
right. Does Nivelle Nights have the same kind of dynamic weather that other maps do?
No, we're not going to see any storms or any sand or anything like that coming in here. This takes place in French soil or on French soil, so it's going to be kind of what you see here. We feel like the night is really kind of where we want to create that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the darkness itself gives it a lot of coverage, and imagine adding anything more into that, it could be a little bit difficult. Who are we on board with here? I think it's Doom 49. Oh, he takes the shot.
Said Darkness.
Nice.
Whoa, there you go.
I had to you said Darkness and then Darkness showed up. It's like, dude.
It worked, right? It played.
So good.
It played real well.
Well, I do want to mention that we haven't seen it yet, and I hope one of our game changers manages to make it happen. But what about the Elite Kit, man? I want to see some flamethrower action.
I do too.
Roasting some fools in the trench.
I do too. This is also a great opportunity for maybe a trench raider.
Oh, you have the trench raider on this map.
I think we might be seeing that. It would be only fitting to have a trench raider with the trench map.
That's a very good point.
Not lying.
with the French pack. I mean, this is an extension of They Shall Not Pass. This map here. So I think we should see if they can pick one up.
By the way, can we comment on how close this game is right now? 430, 440 to 431. But it seems like the German Empire, they're starting to rally the troops and capture all the bases. All their base belong to the Germans Empire. And they are dominating right now.
Now, this seems pretty true to history, I think.
Yeah. I mean, ain't that the truth? The French need to find a way to fight this one back.
They are taking a couple of the flags back. And actually, you can see a lot of them are actually up for contention. You've got A, D, E, and F. Well, now D, E, and F all up for contention. Yep. But as you can see, they're all being taken by the enemy team as we're watching. So it may come down to a point where we're looking at a lot of flags being taken by one team and not being held by the others.
By the way,
but we're seeing a lot of combat here in the no man's zone, right?
Yep.
And we just need to see people running towards the flag and starting to capture those points.
Because as much as the trenches can be very lethal when you run around the corner and maybe get hit with a shotgun, they do provide a lot of cover at the same time. If you know no one's in that trench, you can take cover in it.
Yeah, it's a great place to chuck a grenade, as we saw earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, but it is hard, though, right, to determine that. So many turns, so many corners. You just never quite know what you're going to find. And by the way, Miss Ella is just crushing it. Oh, well, there you go again.
You just did it.
Just, Andrew,
you gave the curse.
I'm sorry. Miss Ella, I hope you're not mad at me. Over to Muggs now, once again sniping. We know that he loves to do this.
But he's using the Labelle sniper, which is the French one.
Okay, let's see if he finds himself over
Missed it.
Some of those flick shots, man. I mean, how do you even do that?
Yeah.
I'm just, like, I sit in awe and watch people who can snipe in video games.
And,
it's just incredible.
Stode are like two of my favorite snipers to watch on Twitch whenever they're streaming, because they are so unbelievably talented with this gun. But oh no, Muggs is taking a lot of shots to the left though. He's going to have to dive right into the trench, get, just really get himself
get
back
into
in
cover.
Well, you can see the players up on the hill over the far side. That's who he's looking for.
Well, he's going to need bread effects.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
99
nice
damage.
sight lines here.
Oh, you can see that kind of guy.
He's taking a hit.
Shot. All it takes, all he has to do is breathe on him, and Muggs will fall here. So he's got to be very careful.
Oh, there we see.
Pathogen, good night. Good shot there. Muggs looking to do it again. There you go.
There you go.
He didn't even need to shoot the gun. All you had to do was take the bullets and then throw it at Muggs, and then Muggs would have died just on that alone. Now Doom looking to do his best Muggs impression here.
Look at that score now. The French have pulled it all the way back round.
I can't believe it. This is just Battlefield at its finest. This is actually a really good game.
No, it's so close.
Very impressive stuff here.
And we're storming Dead Steel here. Looks like we're heading that direction.
Here's one of the tanks.
This is X Factor, the one and only.
Just annihilating.
This is what I love to do personally.
You can see
get this tank and go over and just weed out all those small little cretins there in the trenches. Oh yeah.
You want to be careful not to fall into the trenches. At this point.
True. I probably would have fallen at this moment.
Right.
It's the splash damage potential he's got here. Just firing it against the wall, waiting for the infantry to poke their head out.
Oh
no! He's in.
Oh, he's in.
So
you can still manage to move around.
Can you?
But I think there's going to be some really tight spots. Look, we also have cavalry in there.
Yeah, because
everyone's in there.
Oh my goodness.
Is it possible
the
to
whole
get,
kitchen's in.
Is it possible to get out of the trench network once you
I'm thinking no. Oh, well, wait.
Oh.
We might see something. This
Let's get creative. Let's see what we can do.
This is going to work.
No.
This is not. Wow.
He's still getting kills. Imagine if you're just going through the trenches. You're going through the trenches.
Limpet's coming in.
See a tank coming.
That was like QJB, I believe. He like ran away. He saw that. No, that's CC24. Saw the tank and was like, no, I'm gonna just go the other way.
That wasn't gonna happen.
Wheezy.
That was not gonna end well.
Squid and Wheezy were going for the limpet kill there. I know those guys. They were going for the limpet kill.
Oh my goodness.
Gonna sit for the repair right here.
So there is.
Oh, they're storming. They're storming. Oh my gosh.
Nature Cow, what are you doing? I think he's stuck.
I think
absolutely.
He's
absolutely.
Well,
There's no way out.
I think he knows he's stuck too.
And rule number 1 is never leave your vehicle.
Yeah.
So we might see a really boring game here. If we stay
hanging around.
I disagree. I think this is awesome. He's still getting kills.
There we go. Oh, he's managed to make his way
they're
through.
all trying to take him out.
Here we go. He's working his way along.
We've got this.
Oh.
Wait, we popped up a little bit.
What he needs to try and do is get to one of the rear trenches.
To the left,
right, level
there we
out
go.
a little bit.
Use the physics. There we go. Climb up. Climb up.
So he needs a push.
No, not happening.
Get behind the tank.
Not
Just go and
happening.
try it again. No.
Was telling us absolutely not going to happen.
If you can get to one of the rear trenches, it does open out.
Can't go.
You get around behind.
Yeah, there might be a way out here.
Oh.
Yes.
And we're going to see it.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is.
Did it.
Victory nod right here.
So happy.
Back in no man's land where it feels comfortable.
Yeah,
Some
imagine
elbow
though
room.
he gets out at that moment and then just gets bombarded.
Oh my god, that would have been amazing.
Only in Battlefield.
He was very loyal to his team, because if he'd have left the tank, not only could the enemy team could have got in it, but if he had left it there, then another tank wouldn't have spawned.
Yeah.
So he's kind of left a shell on the battlefield.
Absolutely.
And although he kind of took it into the trench himself, he was very good for getting it out.
You know, I like that you're finding the positive there.
Glass half full for Westy, that's what it is.
Yeah, right. Glass half full. Find the positives and the negatives. But just to update everyone on the score. I mean, this is a really close game.
Really close.
Super
658, 645. The action continues to rage on here.
Tickets are still coming.
Yeah, we have 9 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game, and we hope you guys are enjoying it. Once again, if you're just joining us here, you're checking out Neville Knights, the new map that is going to be coming to Battlefield 1. It is the first night map that this game has, and it is awesome.
Yeah, and it's coming later this month.
Later this month. I'm so excited. And also the other map as well. The other
Praised it to her.
I can't say that 5 times.
That one I've had to practice for.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm saying it right.
Couldn't you guys just call it like, you know, like darkness?
Well, that would have worked, right? It would have been fitting.
Oh, man. Speaking of darkness, we're going over to Team Darkness here with Muggs TV. Finds one in front of him. That's going to be
kill.
skill up. That's, never mind, skill down for you, sir.
Oh, very good. That was a nice one.
That's what I do. You know, that's why they pay me moderate dollars.
They keep coming. Oh, got the hit.
was going for that upper torso shot, didn't quite land it.
Oh, he was going for a headshot. That's what he wanted.
Hoping for the duck or something.
Muggs only goes for the face. It's just how he operates, man.
Would you say it would be only for the mug?
Only for the mug? Oh!
You like
Andrew,
that?
you should become a commentator with me, man. We should
I cannot be as good as you guys.
do this more often. I love it. All right, waiting around here. Muggs.
Again, we're playing in No Man's Land here. A lot of the gameplay that we've seen has been in this No Man's Land section.
But we have seen some really good trench hitting there.
But I think it's typical of the Conquest game mode, where it's the constant movement and the flow.
Yeah.
So if you leave your own trench and go into No Man's Land, take an objective, the chances are that the enemy team's flying around behind you and taking one of the objectives that you've left.
And I found my biggest success is usually when I'm trying to control 1 or 2 points.
I can't even with you right now, Muggs. I know you guys are trying to like talk about how great
I
this
was
map
really
is.
trying to be strategic about this. This is how you do it. He's
what you
grabbing
do.
ribbons left and right.
You just go through and you shred. Period, man.
Let's take D. I hope he can take D.
He should just rename himself the Blender.
No way did he just land that shot. He was
going
getting
through
shot and suppressed by that player, and he landed it straight in the chest.
Sky, man, he is just absolutely incredible.
Taking cover in the chapel here, the ruins.
Looking for the next star. Oh,
whoa!
my
Headshot.
Hell?
Was that a headshot? I don't know.
One cheesy
it was close though.
mofo.
It was
no,
close.
you won dead mofo.
Looked so good.
My goodness. I can't believe the shots he's getting. He's just getting assists that they're counting his kills because they're like, why not?
Of course,
game?
why not?
Oh, he's trying to.
He's finishing it off.
There we go. I think there was one more left. It may have been. Oh, he switched kits. Switched out to the support kit.
He was probably running out of ammo there. Didn't get to,
Good
see
players,
his
I
ammo
guess,
count.
do that. I haven't run out of ammo before.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like.
Happens to me all the time. God, yeah.
Oh, there's the trench.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
That was a trench raider kill.
I wonder who was doing. I couldn't see the name of who was actually running the trench raider. Here we go. Stone
We're
Mountain,
following
of
now.
course.
This is great.
Unit 64 himself.
Unfortunately, we're not in a trench, but we are taking cover. We are taking cover here.
This is going to be a good one. I'm
Running
looking
in and
forward
out
to
of the
this.
pillars of the ruins.
So this was. I haven't had a chance to tinker around with the trench raider yet, though.
Yeah.
How fun is he?
Super quick, all melee. So you're running, you have a little extra health because you have this armor on.
Yeah.
So it is just all out war. This guy runs around, makes some deadly strikes.
Get ready.
One hit kills.
Get ready.
You can
Get
land
ready.
it. If you can land it,
Go.
I'm hoping we see something.
Believe in yourself, Stone. No, don't get shot. Leave him alive. Oh!
There's one.
Jehovah. Sorry, buddy.
Look at him on the
Gotta
guy.
go.
You can see
Full
him
shark,
getting tired.
definitely.
Oh.
More like a landfish. Oh, man.
Just dominating
one health,
the space.
1 health.
Oh.
He's down. He's down.
My goodness.
That was beautiful. That was good to watch.
That was good to watch. That was fun.
He knew the pressure was on him. He heard us in the venue, so he was just
Yeah,
like, oh, I got to
yeah,
show up
yeah.
right now. The screen's on me.
Absolutely. 3 kills in a row. That was worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
The trench raider's like one of those counter attacks though, because it's like you've got to take. You've only got your melee weapon. It's like you do have the revolver, but it's not the same as an automatic primary weapon. So
And the
could hold
club's the
back.
one-hit kill. I mean, you really want to use that guy.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like if you know there's a couple of players around the corner, but you kind of not got enough health, just step back for a minute, get your health back, and then just storm them.
Storm it.
Yeah, because you're gonna win.
By the way, guys, an update. 5 minutes left in the game. 5 minutes and 17 seconds to be exact, and it is still a close affair between these two teams. 8:28 to 8:39, and the points just keep on ticking. We're on board right now with Darkness429, an incredible Twitch streamer, by the way, if you ever get a chance to check him out. All these guys, once again, I said it before, I'll say it again, amazing creators that we have here at EA Play, looking to just have some fun and also show off some great gameplay on the new map, Neville Knights, coming very soon, next month?
No, coming this month.
This month? Oh,
this month, very soon. You know what we haven't seen yet?
What we haven't seen yet?
No one has actually called in for an artillery strike.
You can throw
There
in
is
an
a
artillery
chance
strike
to do that.
How do you do that? Wait, you're not going to tell us, are you?
I think we should see if anyone can figure it out.
Yeah,
but I can't go into it.
If it doesn't happen by the end of the game,
We should talk.
Yeah.
Doesn't the game start off with an artillery strike, though, in the middle of the map?
So you do have a little bit of that, just
Okay.
to kind of set the mood, keep you in your points.
Yeah, I like that. I like that quite a bit. It prevents everyone from like going nuts and just charging straight into the middle like a bunch of crazy people.
And it also adds like a little bit of like story and theme.
Ambiance,
yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
That's what this is all about, right?
We're looking at almost a tie score at the moment. It's only 3 or 3, but there's no tickets in it. It is literally a tie score, 8-7-1.
So close.
Yeah,
but it may not be tied for soon.
We are going to the time, just so you guys know.
So 3 minutes,
50 seconds.
50 seconds. Okay.
And this game could not be any closer if we tried. I swear we did not rehearse this.
No. This happened last year at Gamescom as well. Both games went down to the wire.
It did, that's right.
Happens every time we do this.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a bunch of good players in one room and just have them duke it out, man.
100%.
And Doom here with the trusty shotgun.
Oh
Melee.
dear.
That's gotta hurt.
Yep. You heard the scream. You knew it was coming. Bayonet, it's on its way.
Yeah, well, that's funny because he's like looking around. He's like, is it above me or is it below me? And then there's just nope right in front of you going through your kidney. Here.
Well, I guess that's a good point of the vertical gameplay that you're going to get here, right? You have to pay attention to where you are, especially when you're in the trenches.
A little bit too here for Darkness. He was in the middle of nowhere, man, and he was a target. As soon as you start shooting, you just, especially with the dark map, right, and the way that it's laid out, the muzzle fire, you really see that and you can tell. And again, that's where the lighting really plays a role in this game and what you're able to do.
Yep. You really find those nice dark corners. But what you're also going to see when they start sniping, especially on the hilltops, those silhouettes that are moving, you see the movement, fire away.
And that's correct, because over the back you have some, almost like some AI elements, don't you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
2 minutes, 25 seconds,
But
9:24, 9:53.
Yeah, the gap's opened up just a tad though. The rocket gun comes. Oh,
that's
deflect.
a lot of damage.
That was a deflect. Second round, engine disabled. Can he finish it off? There we go. It's gone. Beautiful.
Just go for it, Stone. Just shoot and believe in yourself, man. Shoot it into the darkness. I dare you.
The whistle's blowing. Time to charge.
I know, right? Well, they are going to be able to overtake C. Both teams have 3 flags, but the C and D flag are swapped, so expect to see a lot of activity. Who's going to be able to win out that battle in the midfield is the question. Stone Mountain rallying with his team forward, shooting his teammate because reasons. And it's over to A, and they are going all the way out to the other side of the map for that last-ditch effort here, Andrew.
There's only 15 tickets.
I hope we see something incredible here.
They have to cap at least 2 in order for them to come back into this one, I think, with 1 minute and 23 seconds. Because it's
not
still
sure
very
it's
close.
going to happen.
Yeah, no, it won't happen.
We're down. They are capturing 2 points.
I can't see it happening personally.
I think it's going to go.
You think it's?
I think 3 tickets. Nah, they're not going to do this. Not going to do it.
Not going to happen.
It's going to be real tight. Let's see if it happens. They're resupplying like
there
crazy.
You go.
Game over.
To 1,000, and that's right. As
close.
a matter of fact, it was to 1,000, but I don't think, I mean, we figured we were going to make it there or till the game ending. Either way, though, they needed to stop literally everything from happening, and that was not the case. Team Darkness will reign supreme. Oh boy, what a match! That was awesome.
Well, it's kind of fitting too, because it was a dark map.
I have to say, well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from that game, because there were a metric crap ton of highlights from that game, man. I have to say. Doom 49 had a couple great shots, as well as Muggs. Muggs, I think, was a superstar this whole game, though. Just getting shot after shot after shot. He was absolutely tearing it up.
I mean, like, watching Muggs do some of that, I think sometimes it's not even the accuracy, it's the continued accuracy beyond the first shot. Like first shot, second shot, third, and every single shot lands. It's incredible.
Only in Battlefield moments right there.
Yeah. And here's the thing, that's not just marketing speak. That is like actual, like, you get these crazy moments in this game because of the open nature of it, right? That's what lends to the uniqueness
Super dynamic.
of this game.
Yeah. And this is the stuff that drives us when we're making these games. We want to make sure we provide these ways to create those moments.
And I'm particularly glad too, because as a person who really enjoys infantry combat, I like that this map really highlights the infantry combat.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, right? The gun mechanics in Battlefield are fantastic. I want to be able to take advantage of it as much as possible. And do my thing, period. So awesome stuff all around, I have to say. And I mean, Wesley, thoughts on the map?
I think the map's really, really good. Because it's the first night map, very different from anything that you've created so far. The lighting really lends itself to a different style of gameplay. You can see that the trench close quarters action. Yes, you can get that on some other maps, but because of the nighttime setting, everything's a little bit closer together, so it's much more chaotic.
Yeah, we saw a lot of close quarter combat here.
Yeah, I loved it. It was awesome. I liked the close quarters combat once again, but I think that's something that we're all going to kind of echo here because it's yes, you have it in other maps, but it's just a different feeling. It's a different tone. I really feel like, if I had to think about how BF1 would do full-on trench combat, that is admittedly how I would want it to be.
So glad to hear that.
Yeah, and I'm glad. I'm glad that it was able, it was nailed, right? Because when I play this, I'm going to be super into it because I can just get into trenches, hide in a corner, shotgun some fool, hit him with a pan, just awesome stuff. Oh, you guys need pans in the game.
That might come up. Now that you've recommended, I'm going to put that on the list.
Whoa. There you go.
Let's see if the designers
Revelations here.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I'm a great game designer, kind of, sort of, not really. All right, guys. Well, awesome time here. But for now, though, let's go ahead and send it over to Jose, who's down on the floor. Jose, what you got for me, buddy?
Hey guys, I'm hanging out here with Miss Ella Cronin, who I was trying to get an interview with at the end of that round. That's why our team sort of fell behind. So I feel like it was my fault. I apologize. But tell us a little bit about your experience with Neville Knights and how you think it's going to affect the Battlefield 1 players out there.
It's really fun, like the nighttime aspect and the fact that it's dark and so much harder to see what's going on completely changes the atmosphere. So yeah, no, it's really different. It's like a completely different experience.
And how do you approach the night maps as compared to the typical daytime or desert-like maps that we've seen in Battlefield before?
I mean, I like being a medic anyway, so I tend to stand a little bit further back from the fights and just try and heal and keep people alive. So yeah, that hasn't really changed. I kind of can hang back, try my best to keep my team alive, keep my squad alive, so yeah.
So is it difficult to approach being a medic when the lights are out? It's nighttime, Neville Knights shining down, all you see is the sunlights, the twinkle of lanterns. Does it make it harder for you to sort of find your teammates, or do you just sort of rely on your icons?
It does. It does make it harder, but it also makes it harder for them to see me, which I quite like. So it works out both ways.
That's smart thinking. That's how it's done. Well, I'm sorry, I see your team has left you again to play some more. I will let you get back to playing. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ella Cronin. Back to you guys at the table. We're going to play some Neville Knights.
Awesome stuff there. That was Missile herself. Missile Cronin. No, Miss Ella Cronin. She was a fantastic medic throughout the game. We got a couple good clips of her really, just keeping everyone going. And that is essentially what a medic needs to do, right?
Yep.
Because you got those medics, okay, who think like, oh, I'm just going to heal myself. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay, you're actually supposed to, like heal your teammates.
Be a buddy.
Battlefield's a squad game.
That's right. Resupply and revive.
Resupply and revive.
That's
Love it. I had such a good time, man. Westy, what a day. What a day.
Yeah, it's been really good, but we're not quite finished.
Oh.
There's one more thing that we've got left coming.
Okay.
There's been a really special video that's been made by one of our Battlefield community members. We're going to flick over to it now, and we hope you enjoy it.
It's a battle pack. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Dan. Jeff, you guys are doing so good. You guys carried this battle pack all the way out here. Muggs, what's this? What's this?
This is a very special battle pack for a very special woman. You know, we met at Twitch, through Battlefield. We've done so much with the community. It has been an amazing, experience with you, and I just, I want to share it with you for the absolute rest of my life. And Evelyn Rains, would you marry me? Yes. Yes.
Can we get 3 ooh-yahs on 3? 1, 2, 3. Hoo-yah! 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 She said yes, in case you guys missed it. There was a nod, but there was a verbal yes. You won't be able to find that battle pack in game. That battle pack is not in.
Not at all, my friend. Congratulations, 2 people who I know very well who are absolutely incredible human beings, Muggs and Ulala. You guys are awesome. Congratulations, and I'm glad that you were able to do this surrounded by your friends who are also your family and thousands of people online as well. The Battlefield community is truly amazing and incredible. They've welcomed me in with open arms when I first got involved, and they do so with everyone else. So big thank you to you guys. What a time. What a day.
This was fun.
That was brilliant.
I had a good time.
For the community.
All right, guys. Well, once again, just want to close it out here. Congratulations, Muggs, Ulala. You guys deserve it, and you guys are going to have a happy life together. But for those of you guys who want to have a happy time playing some Battlefield, Neville Knights will be coming out pretty soon as well. That will be this month, so be on the lookout for that. But that's going to do it for us here. It's been a great time, playing some Battlefield. Still so much more to come at EA Play. And, of course, Andrew, and for Wesley, thank you so much.
Glad to be here.
It was a good time.
Happy to be part of it.
All right, well, we'll catch you guys on the other side.